Oh, what is up, Yankee fans? We are live. This is the Yankees Afternoon Brew. It's your guy Hector with my guy, the Ace Avenue, and we are here to talk Yankees baseball, open panel. If you guys want to join that conversation, the link will be in the chat. And without further ado, let's hit that intro.
What are your thoughts when facing an opponent?
There is no opponent.
And why is that?
Because the word love does not exist.
Ooh, what's up, YouTube? And welcome back to another great episode of the Yankees Afternoon Brew. It's your guy Hector, like I said, with my guy, the Ace Avenue. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description down below. Ace, before we get to the chat, how you feeling, my guy?
Feels good, man. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. We got some exciting Yankee news today. You know, it's probably been the most exciting part of the offseason. Our boy Aaron Judge, for those that don't know, is the cover athlete of MLB The Show 2026. In a Yankee offseason that hadn't had much excitement, this is a exciting one. Heck, you play the show?
Oh, I definitely play MLB The Show. Are you kidding me? That's what I use to unwind at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Okay. Hopefully you play as the Yankees. So
I switch it up time to time, but most of the Yankees. Actually, I have a starting pitcher that's on my road to the show with the Yankees right now. My question to ask you, and folks in the chat, we'll get to you right now. When it comes to the MLB The Show cover, when it comes to just the cover athlete, do you believe the rumors about is that a curse? Do you believe in any of that?
Nah, that's Madden. That's the
we've
Madden
seen it, but
curse.
we've seen it also. We've seen it also in 2K. It happened with 2K and Paul George, Russell. It doesn't happen in the NBA as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna look up the last 10 MLB.
When Aaron Judge was the cover athlete for MLB The Show 2018, 2019, he got hurt. In 19, he got hurt as well. You know, I'm just saying, just be careful. I'm excited, but Yankee fans, just be wary. Let's shout out the chat. My guy Jonathan is in the building. Jonathan, how are you doing? Johnny S is in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's. Theo Nosebleed section is here. Our good friend Tina, one of the best moderators that are out there in the Yankees universe, is in the building. Miguel S. Miggy, how are you doing? My guy, Senor John Brophy is in the building. Mr. Brophy, I hope you have some time to join us on the open panel. Shout out my guy, John Brophy, one of the best that are in the building. If you guys aren't following him on Instagram, make sure you guys go and follow John Brophy. Check out his articles. Check out his work. My man, El Dolulu, Yankee fan, is in the building. Los Yankees, Los Slankies. Nosebleed said, heck, you guys talking JD without Grace? I know. Sorry, Theo Nosebleed. Sorry. My guy Future is in the building. We got Minnesota Fats is in the building. The cover of the MLB The Show is a Kiss of Death. Well-known curse. Follow the players. Look at him. Look, I'm going to just pin the comment and just say that right there. Jason Custodio is in the building. Jason, if you got some time to jump on an open panel, please do. My guy, the Pinstripe Bugle, is in the building. Make sure you guys go and follow him. And he just dropped some gems on Instagram with the Yankees being connected to CJ Abrams. We'll get into that conversation as well. But Ace, my guy, this open panel. Have you ever done one of these before?
Yeah, several ones. I've actually popped on a lot of open panels. Good time, man. I actually think my first official YouTube stream was popping on somebody's open panel. So it's kind of a little motivation, you know what I'm saying? And I know, isn't that how you and Grace met too on an open panel type joint?
Yeah, same. I like to believe when I first came up, it was on an open panel with Uncle Freezy in the Knicks universe. Shout out to Uncle Freezy, the Blorence Tears Network. If you guys are Knicks fans and want to join the open panel, you guys go over there. But that was the first time I was ever on an open panel, and that motivated me to start getting on this content grind and started live streaming. I met some people. I started different podcasts and different channels and learned along the way. And now I'm here right now, but I got my way and my foot wet by doing open panels. And that's why when I started Yanks Morning Brew and, different channels that this show was a part of, different iterations, I always wanted to do an open panel to give other opportunities to other folks that wanted to be a content creator but just didn't know how to do it or were just nervous. So I always wanted to have a platform so other people could get their feet wet. And if you have a channel, you're more than welcome to drop whatever you're doing in the chat. As long as you're respectful to everybody in the community, you're more than welcome to join here on the panel.
Yeah, absolutely. Open panels are definitely a dope way to just further collab with people that support you as well, because people want to hear their voices heard. There are a lot of people that do the voicemails, or the voicemails are a cool route as well, or the phone call, stuff like that. But just to be able to engage with you guys further, and especially being able to put a face to a name with some of these people, because a lot of times all we're seeing is your ats, and we don't really get to know what you look like. So sometimes it's good just to even do that at the minimum. So yeah, open panels are definitely a way to go, but you got to watch out because there are some crazy people out there though. And make sure when you guys chime in, man, please be 18 and up. Let's do that.
Absolutely. Please be 18 and up. Please be respectful to everybody that's on the panel and in the chat. There's a poll that's going on right now. Ace, I'm not sure if you know what that poll is, but the poll is, who matters more to the Yankees' future? Is it Jasson Domínguez, Spencer Jones? Is it both or neither? And before we give you the answer to what people are thinking in the chat, if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, interact with the poll that's in the chat right now. If you guys can, please interact with the poll, drop a super chat, whatever you guys do. It shows YouTube that you guys like the live stream, that you guys are engaging with the live stream, and then it puts this in the algorithm to get more Yankee fans into the conversation. I'm going to put the link to the open panel in the chat right now. Like Ace and I said, if you guys want to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. Just always make sure you have your camera on. We'll go verify if you guys are bots, if you guys are real people when you guys are backstage. But let me put that down there below. And like I said, if you guys can, drop a like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a super chat, $1, $2, whatever you guys can. It goes a long way. I'm headed down to the World Baseball Classic. My flights are booked. The Airbnb is booked. So if you guys want to help out, a little $10 here, $20 here, it will help me pay away at some of my bills that I got coming my way. But the link to the open panel is down there, down below. Let's see. We got some people who join us. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. We got my guy NYCC Money is in the building. Kayla Vasquez, how are you doing? And the I'm gonna just stop this poll that we got running on YouTube right now. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going.
I'm gonna keep the poll going right now. Jasson Domínguez is in the league at 49% when it comes to who matters more to the Yankees' future. And I know Grace Monroe, she would like that. Spencer Jones is at 31%. 6% is both, and neither is sitting at 14. So 14% of you guys out there believe that both Spencer Jones and Jasson Domínguez should get up out of here. My guy C Money with the $1.99 super chat, Captain America, MLB The Show 2026. Actually, I have the video because you had sent me the video on Instagram. I'm gonna play that video real quick. I got somebody backstage, my guy from the Pinstripe Bugle. Let me play this Aaron Judge video real quick for the folks that are watching. Where's it at? Boom, bingo, bongo. And let's go.
See ya! His 30th home run of the year, the most ever by a Yankee rookie. Aaron Judge is the American League single-season home run leader.
What's next?
See ya! Oh my goodness, what a shot by Aaron Judge!
Game on.
Return of the king, return of the king. Was gone for a while, now I'm back to claim my throne. All right.
So March 17th, mark your calendars. Ace, I think we're gonna have to do a co-stream play along, you and I. I think we're gonna have to do that when we both get the game. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. March 17th.
March 17th. No, I was just saying March 17th. Mark it down. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Definitely down. March 17th. I was looking at the calendar. See, it drops on a Tuesday. I wonder if that's the early release. It's actually dropping on St. Patrick's Day. But you know, for a little bit extra bread, they end up, you can get it a little bit earlier. I wonder if that's the early release or if it's gonna be that Friday or the Friday before, because normally they tend to throw people a little bit of a bone, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna do when it comes to the special edition. What they're gonna add in there and all that stuff. So I'm down, man. Like MLB The Show, Aaron Judge first repeat one. When they came out yesterday, here's the thing, man. MLB The Show last year gained a lot of attention with what they did. How Ellie dropped the video.
That's
then
pretty
Paul
cool.
Skeens dropped the video, and then Gunnar Henderson dropped the video. So everybody's like, who's on the cover? Ended up being all three. So what they did yesterday was they dropped it saying they would not be a new player. So a lot of speculation. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be Ohtani. I definitely thought it was going to be Ohtani with a Dodgers uniform, being that they just came off back-to-back. And I would have definitely thought, MLB would have wanted Ohtani because last time he was on there was actually in a Dodgers Angels uniform, but it turned out to be Captain America himself.
When I saw the orange, like when they was like leaking, like the early images, when I saw the orange, when they just showed like the MLB The Show with the orange, like I thought it was gonna be Paul Skeens because that orange was very close to the Detroit Tigers orange color scheme. I know it wasn't the Mets because yes, the orange is close to the Mets, but also the blue was a little bit different. So I thought it was gonna be Tariq Skubal. No, I said Paul Skeens. I meant to say Tariq Skubal and the Detroit Tigers is who I meant to say. Must Have Snacks just said if you pre-order, you can get it on the 13th, right? Do you do that? Do you do that? You that type of hype beast? You do?
I can't wait. Okay, so it says 17, so you said 13. Yeah, that it makes sense for that previous Friday. I do, and it's like $100. You know what I'm saying?
Put the W in the chat if you guys are gonna get the pre-order. If you guys are gonna get it early, you guys are gonna be a hype beast and get a little bit early.
They screwed me on the pre-order one time though. I'm not gonna lie because like it was the one with Jazz and the Derek Jeter alternate cover, right? I paid $100, and PlayStation gave me the basic, and then when I ended up getting my money back, it violated their terms and services and me get my money back, and they deactivated my whole account. So I had to make a whole new a PSN.
Last thing I'm going to say about this, and we get to the folks in the chat. We got a couple people backstage that I really want to get them in on the conversation. I appreciate you fellas for being backstage. Last thing I'm going to say is I had that issue with me. That's why I stopped doing pre-orders when NBA 2K did that massive Kobe drop. And they did like the whole Kobe drop, the Kobe theme, and I literally paid for I paid $150 for the max one that you can get, and it was just the basic one that wasn't Kobe Bryant. It was just a regular cover athlete, and I had to go through some bullshit for the same thing to get my money back. I didn't have my account wasn't deactivated, but I was still able to get my money back. All right, so without further ado, we got two people backstage. I got my guy E from the Pinstripe Bugle. E, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready to rock out. And then I got my guy Senor El John Brophy. Brophy, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready to rock out. So I'm bringing up my guy E and then Mr. John Brophy. Fellas, how you doing?
How we doing? You guys hear me?
Yes,
sir.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Mr. Brophy, how you feeling, brother?
It's good. It's going to be cold here actually in Tampa. It's we're the weather guys are saying we might get some flurries this weekend, ironically enough. So hopefully we don't have snow for spring training, right?
I got like 2 feet out my window. You want to look
World's
at my
smallest violin right here. Oh no.
I know. Man, for the folks that are in the chat right now, first off, thank you fellas for joining us, Brophy and E. Happy New Year as well. Hope you guys are doing good. I want to Ace, how long do you go with telling motherfuckers Happy New Year? Like when's the cutoff for you? And then you stop saying it. For me, it's like once January's over, you ain't getting no more Happy New Year's out of me.
Yeah, I get the first week, to be honest with you. After the first week, or if you've seen somebody multiple times, you don't gotta wish them Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? Especially and before, if you don't expect to see somebody before then, you can wish them Happy New Year. But Happy New Year's go out the same time that the Christmas tree needs to go out. Some of y'all still got y'all dirty ass spider-filled Christmas tree up, and y'all got the lights on. Because I be driving around seeing motherfuckers driving with the lights still on. Unless it's a seasonal thing, take them shits down, man. It's too late. It's the 27th of January.
Shout out to TY Play All Day. W, I hope the franchise mode has a big significant change. Absolutely. One thing I want, if you're playing the franchise mode, have it do I like how 2K have it. You could do different eras. You could do the 90s. You could do the Jordan era, the Kobe era. You could do the LeBron era. Have that as well with MLB. I won't be able to play during MLB during the time of like the late 90s when the Yankees were the dynasty, or when the Red Sox won, once Red Sox came back in 2004. I don't know. That's just me. But let's get into the baseball conversation. Before we do that, Brophy, I'm gonna throw it to you. Let the people know. Let them know who you are, the work that you do with the New York Yankees, and where they can find you on social media before we get into the conversation. And E, I'll do the same thing. I'll throw it over to you. Go ahead, Brophy.
So I'm a photographer with Spanish language outlet Con las Pasas Llenas. I'll be down there starting on the 10th. I'm hoping to get a full season credential this year. So you'll get a lot of photos and video on my social media, J Brophy Baseball. I'm just excited to get going with that. And then during the rest of the year, I do a lot of minor league stuff. I cover their affiliate in Tampa, the Tampa Tarpons, and the Complex League. So, you know, if you guys don't know who I am, I was one of the first people to see Jasson Domínguez swing a bat. The first photographer to put any kind of content of Spencer Jones out there. So, you know, it's excited to see a lot of these guys when I saw their pro debuts and then they get to make the major leagues. You know, just after a couple of years, it's awesome stuff what I get to do down here.
Yeah, if you, like I said, if you guys don't know, Mr. Brophy, one of the best photographers that are out there in the business. I've known Brophy for the past few years, and the outlet he works with, Con la Bases, those are folks that I've run into at the stadium a lot. And Brophy, I just got to give you credit, because whenever I was having issues with my camera, like you could have told me to go fuck off, and you really took your time to be like, nah, come over here, let me show you, you noob, how to do this, what's this setting and stuff like that. So I always appreciate that, and thank you so much, and I look forward to what you put out in 2026. I really do, especially con la base.
Thank you.
Of course. And
nice to meet you too.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
First time meeting you. Nice to meet you both. You know.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you very much.
E, I'll toss it over to you. Let the folks know where they can find you. If you guys don't know my guy, like it says, the Pinstripe Bugle is the name of his channel. Go ahead, E, let the people know.
How's everyone doing? My real name is Evan, and you can find me at the Pinstripe Bugle on all of social platforms. I'm just a super fan, really. About a year and a half ago, I started just posting clips of the games, and little by little, that led to me more posting every day. Eventually, I started to show my face. I've been a super fan since I was a little kid, and I got a degree in marketing in college, so I decided to use that to my advantage and build my pages. Just this past year alone, amongst all my platforms, grossed about 7 to 8 million views total. So we're grinding, and I just love connecting with other Yankee fans and hearing what everyone's opinions are. And I've met some very nice people the last couple of years and months doing this, so I'm having a blast, really.
Facts. And appreciate you, Ace, for dropping the link to his page in the channel right there, his Instagram page. Make sure you guys give him a follow. He does put out great work. Somebody that I collaborate with during the season last year, somebody I met with, and like Future put in the chat, his co-host. Yes, if you got, this is his debut, just so you guys know, the Yankees post-game show that we're going to do is going to be Future, it's going to be E. They're going to be running it. Myself, I'm going to be chiming in from the stadium. It's hard for me to do that and produce the show, so that's why I'm pulling in E. That's why I'm pulling in Future, and then of course Ace, when he finished with his post-game show, when he finished with his live stream, he's going to come over as well. And Brophy, if you ever bored and get hablar mierda, you're more than welcome to join us as well when we do our post-game show. But the first topic that we're going to get into before we do that, CK, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Helping us keep the lights on and helping me get my money up for when I go down for the World Baseball Classic. But he says, Hector, my brother, will you be at the Pinstripe Pride? Yes, I will be there this Friday and Saturday. I'm exclusively there this Friday with Chuck Knobloch doing some work. During the season, that's something that we're bringing you here. Whenever Chuck Knobloch has autograph signings in the city, Uptown Sports and Latino Sports will be doing exclusive watch parties with Chuck Knobloch at different bars throughout the city. So make sure you guys are giving us a follow. Shout out to my guys C Money, NYC C Money, K Money, Caleb for even setting that up. So that's something I look forward to. If you guys are going to be at the Pinstripe Pride event this weekend, make sure you guys run down on me. But the first topic, and I'm going to kick it over to Brophy and E to lead us in the conversation. The Yankees outfield is crowded right now. Brian Hoke sat down and spoke about Cody Bellinger's return, and ultimately, what does that mean for Jasson Domínguez and Spencer Jones, and whether or not the Yankees need more pitching. Brophy, I'll toss it to you, then toss it over to E, then Ace, and then I'll give my take. Folks in the chat, let us know as well. What's your thoughts? Go ahead, Brof.
So I've had a soapbox for a couple of years about how the Yankees treat Latin players. And Hector, I think you might be on the same page as me where, I mean, if you look at like Miguel Andujar and Davy Garcia, well, maybe not Davy Garcia. He was kind of a bad, not the best prospect, I guess you could say. He wasn't what he was supposed to be. But there's so many different Latin prospects that they didn't give a long enough leash before they were traded or caught or whatever the case was. And I think that's going to be the same situation here with Jasson Domínguez. Especially given the power that we've seen Spencer Jones put up almost since day one. Like his first hit, I remember it was a line drive over to right field. And I'm looking at the mechanics on that first at bat, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this kid's legit. And you see all the way through the minor league system, aside from his strikeout rate, which is the same as what Aaron Judge had when he was in the minors. It's like 33%, something like that. I think that's something that they can work on. But the fielding is so important in Yankee Stadium, and that's where Jones has the advantage.
All right. So Brophy has it that Jones has the advantage being a left-handed hitter in Yankee Stadium. E, I'm going to toss it over to you. Same question coming your way when it comes to the Yankees outfield. Who gets traded first and who has more value to the Yankees organization?
I think Jasson Domínguez gets traded first. I'm a huge fan of the Martian. I saw him play in AA here in Hartford. Spencer Jones too. I think it's black and white for me. I like to follow the numbers, but it's about black and white, right? Domínguez struggles in left, right? And if you don't see him as an everyday center fielder or even a left field option, then he's just a DH with wheels, right? And he's so young where he can become a great fielder, right? But right now, who has more value? It's Domínguez. He's younger and he has, all those tools and the abilities to get better. I think if the Yankees were to trade one, it'd probably be Domínguez because he might get the return that they actually want. But I don't think Cashman's going to deal either one of them with his hands tied behind his back. Teams know they don't have room for them, and he's not going to just get rid of them to get rid of them. He wants to operate at a position of advantage. So maybe he trades them during spring training if another team's outfield gets crippled with injuries, but he's not going to just send them off for nothing. I think the Yankees internally value them both pretty high, but externally, Domínguez has more value.
Ace, I'll kick it over to you to answer both of them. And folks in the chat, let us know as well. My guy Anthony Medina, man, Malo de la Isla, shout out to you. I'll get to your comment because you got a good one right there. Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, before I get into my thoughts, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys. We got 103 people in here collectively. You guys are amazing for this Tuesday afternoon. As far as where I stand, I think Jasson Domínguez has more value, but that doesn't mean that I think Spencer Jones has less, if you get what I'm saying. I would like to keep both. Because think about it like this, right? Even though Spencer Jones is getting up there in age and he hasn't, we haven't even seen him up here in the big leagues, but Jasson Domínguez has the advantage because he does have the experience. At this point in time, they're both lefties because Domínguez still hasn't proven that he can hit consistently from the right side. When it comes to fielding, we don't really know as far as Spencer Jones quite yet how it would translate in Yankee Stadium to that left side because that is one of our biggest sides of the field. But I think both have value because think about it like this. Trent Grisham's not going to be here next year. Hopefully, he's not going to be here next year. Hopefully, we don't re him up. And Cody Bellinger has the ability to opt out after year 2. So do you really want to get rid of these guys? And then let's say we lose a Trent Grisham, who was also dealing with hamstring problems. We don't know if that's going to rear its ugly head. So I'm not willing to get rid of a prospect of a guy that can provide value and that youth, that spark, that energy that this Yankees team needs, that athleticism that it needs. Jasson Domínguez provides that. Spencer Jones also can provide that. And then in 2 years, who knows what's going to happen with Cody Bellinger? If he goes off these next 2 years, he might decide to opt out, and then all of a sudden we traded a prospect. There's a world, I could see a world out there where in 2 years it's Spencer Jones and Jasson Domínguez in left and center field, whichever way you want to pull them. I can do that, but I'm not willing to just get rid of somebody, one of them, unless they bring back a significant player. And by significant player, we've heard the Yankee rumblings. Unless it's going to bring back a Paul Skeens or a Tariq Skubal, it's probably not going to get done.
Yeah, and I gotta piggyback of what you just said. It depends on what the return is. If it's Tariq Skubal, I'm paying for his Uber to the airport myself. If it's
They
Paul
can both go.
Skeens, I'm doing the same thing as well. They could both go, but it just depends who are you trading for. If it's for an aging veteran, right-handed hitter that's just a platoon player that's 33 on the opposite side about to of his baseball card, no, I'm not trading Jasson Domínguez or Spencer Jones. I could see a scenario where both of them are with the Yankees breaking spring training. Because like he said, I don't think Brian Cashman is not desperate trying to trade, or he's not desperately trying to trade either one of them. Brian Cashman, we understand how he operates. He'll make core teams just to test the waters, but Brian Cashman is not dumb. He understands if he makes a dumb move and Jasson Domínguez unlocks his star potential someplace else for some organization, Yankee fans are going to be killing him. But on the flip side of that, if he holds on to his prospects and his prospects turns out to be another Miguel Andujar, another player, Oswaldo Peraza, who gets shipped on to another team after they lose value, fans are going to rip you as well. So he's in a tough situation. But like Brophy said, it always rubbed me the wrong way seeing how the Yankees treat their Latin players, their Latino baseball players. And this is something that dates back to how they let Bernie Williams retire and how they just didn't even offer him a contract that next year, even though he was offered contracts from Kansas City, Oakland, and other teams. And he said, I can't see myself in another Yankees uniform. The way that Jorge Posada was his last days with the New York Yankees. Eduardo Nunez, when he was a prospect, he was a prospect that they didn't want to trade for Cliff Lee, but at the same time, they didn't want to give him the right playing time. So it's mixed. It's mixed emotions when it comes to the Yankees and how they deal with their Latino baseball players. I want to get to some of the comments that's in the comment in the chat, and I'll toss it around. Jonathan, I see you backstage. Jonathan, let me get a thumbs up. Our guy Jonathan is here as well. Jonathan, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Been a while since you've had an open panel on the Brew here.
I know. We're gonna start doing them more often, at least once or twice, once a week right now during the off season, twice or maybe more during the baseball season. But I'll tell you this, you know what hasn't changed, Jonathan? Your background hasn't changed. It's the same background you had from the last time you was on the open panel. But what's your thoughts on the conversation, Jonathan, before we get to the chat, buddy?
Well, I agree with what you've been saying. Honestly, long term, I don't see Jones and Dominguez on the team. This year, I don't see Jones and Dominguez on the team. But long term, look, one thing we have to remember: Grisham is only for 1 year. 1 year. So if Grisham, either if he gets hurt, or if he struggles, or if he's just not playing well, you can have him more of a fourth outfielder, get more playing time for Dominguez. And look, isn't Jasson Domínguez more of a center fielder than a corner outfielder?
Yeah. So
yeah,
I was going to add, Hector. So he played center field up until Somerset. And then when he got to Somerset, they started playing him in left field to see how that would work out. Going from there, they just wanted to see how it worked out, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? But here, why not?
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Let Dominguez continue to be a center fielder. Look, everyone beforehand. We were all comparing to Mickey Mantle. Let him at least play the position like Mickey Mantle. So and let's see.
If I can, Jonathan, I just wanted just to chime in. From what I got it right, Brophy, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. When it comes to Jasson Domínguez, he was playing center field. They signed him as a center fielder, but like you said, when he got up to Somerset, they started moving him around just to see if he could play in left field. They never did it really much in right field. But if Jasson Domínguez was to come up, the center fielder we all know is the captain of the outfield. Right, it's the person that if the right fielder and the center fielder, if they're both going after the ball, the center fielder is the person that he calls it, the right fielder has to go off. And for me, I think from the people that I spoke with, the Yankees aren't sure, or they don't trust Jasson Domínguez's baseball IQ to make the right decision going for a ball in right field with with Aaron Judge, or going for a ball in left field with either Cody Bellinger or with Trent Grisham. Now, if that's the excuse they're going to make, copy. I see what you're saying, but Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham both have played center field. Aaron Judge has played center field. Let him play center field, but tell him, listen, when it comes down to it, you're going to have to listen to Aaron Judge. If he wants the ball in right center field, you guys are both going after it. Let Aaron Judge get the final call. That makes sense, Brophy? Am I making sense? I know my dyslexia has my words in the buds.
They ever since day one, he's had trouble running routes in the outfield, and that's, I think, why they moved him over to left field, because it's a smaller territory to cover. So I know, like, even when he was with the Tarpons, because I'd get there early and I'd see them running drills, they were running drills with him, trying to get things figured out with running routes. And you could see, I mean, there was, even last year, he was having trouble spotting the ball, and he'd lose it in the sun and all this other stuff that you shouldn't realistically be running into in the major leagues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I call the game, so I've seen a lot of the Jasson Domínguez plays. Like, there are a couple where it's like, the numbers will tell you this is like a 90-something% catch rate. You should definitely catch it. But he was a lot more tentative when out there, as far as some stuff he would let drop just to not make the mistakes, because I think after a while the fans and the pressure might have got to him. But I do think at the same time too, I do think fans overreacted when it came to Jasson Domínguez defense. Like I had said last stream, there were a couple of games where a ball would get hit hot shot over Dominguez's head, he would jump for it over the glove. People were like, oh, he should have caught it. Same thing happened to Aaron Judge. An inning later, no one bats an eye. It's as simple as that. Well, now back to what Hector was saying when it comes to center field and submitting to Aaron Judge's call. I'm all for Domínguez being out there and saying, I got this. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron Judge is humble enough of a leader to know that if Domínguez has the better opportunity, it's not about Judge getting the shine. It's about just making the play. So I'm all for the traditional, if a younger, faster player thinks he can go get it, let him go out there and get it. And it's about a communication and a familiarity when it comes to these players. You're muted, Hector.
If I could just chime in on that, I agree with what Ace just said. But I think when you watch Domínguez, right, if he came up as a center fielder, when you play center field, there is a specific package of attributes that you have naturally from playing that position from a kid, right? You have the communication, you have the instinct, you have the route running. When you watch him, and if you really watch him, he doesn't have those at a high level. He has that speed, so he makes up for the bad route running. But if you stick him in center, if you think it was rough in left this year, you stick him in center, it's going to be rough. It's not going to be great to watch, because then you start having him going routes with the left fielder and Judge. And that's how people get hurt. Bad communication. You cannot risk Domínguez and Judge colliding because Domínguez doesn't know that Judge is calling him off, or vice versa. You need to have someone there that knows how to take charge, or knows how to let Judge take charge. And I think it's just risky. And I don't think they want to put him on the big stage because he gets eaten alive on the internet.
Well, it does happen to the best of us, because, Trent Grisham had a couple of moments where he had some miscommunication. So it happens to everybody. It's just a learning curve at the end of the day. Like, if you're out there,
nickname's not the Martian.
Well, that's a fan thing. That's a us thing. But like, when it comes, I'm just all for, like, let the kid go out there and get the experience, because the ball cuts differently in left field than it does in center field. You're tracking it differently. Yankee Stadium's left field is a lot bigger than most stadiums. So it's good to have that athletic person. And I'm also looking at it like, if you have Domínguez center field, right? If that's his best position, I'm okay with Cody Bellinger playing left field, because he's proven that he can make that play. So you're having a guy that's confident in center field and a guy that can play left field, rather than a guy that can play center field and a guy that can't play left field. So at least the outfield feels a little more balanced to me. But for me, I'm just all about give the kid a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's just see what happens. Like, the familiarity, the confidence, the trust. Because even if Aaron Judge, you go out there, you play with him, and you trust that this kid can do it, then we can see some good results.
Shout out to my guy Slim Lewis Guitar with the $5 super chat, helping us keep the lights on. He says it's inevitable that Stanton would miss time and Judge/Belly would play 145 plus games, not 162. The fourth outfielder would get playing time should it be Jasson Domínguez. I have faith in Jasson Domínguez. I started this conversation by saying that I believe in the star power or the star potential of Jasson Domínguez. I know some folks and some Yankee fans may not. I definitely still have a little bit of hope when it comes to Jasson Domínguez. Knowing that this is probably the first offseason in some time that Jasson Domínguez is not rehabbing an injury or trying to recover off of a surgery, I got a lot of hope. Even though he struggled in the Caribbean League and winter ball, I still have some hope that Jasson Domínguez will hit the ground running in spring training. Folks, if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got 134 people watching us collectively, and on YouTube, we got over 50 people in the chat at 53. If you guys can, hit that like button. We're sitting at 26 likes on the live stream. Jonathan, you just putting your hand up. You have something to say?
Yeah, I also have
What's up, gorgeous? Go ahead. Go ahead, beautiful.
To change the subject away from Dominguez. What are your thoughts? What do you think the Yankees will do if Volpe cannot improve his game? They have so many many of their top 10 prospects are all infielders or shortstops. What do they do with Volpe if he cannot improve his game?
Ace, do you want to handle every Yankee fan's favorite topic on Yankees Twitter? You want to, and then kick it over to Ian Brophy? Folks in the chat, let us know as well as we're gonna end. I'm gonna end the poll right now since Jonathan brought up Anthony Volpe. I'm gonna end the poll. We got 65 people who chimed in on the poll. Thank you guys so much. 52% says Jasson Domínguez is more important to the Yankees' future. 23% say Spencer Jones. 15% says neither, and 9% says both. So shout out to all the Jasson Domínguez fans. I'm going to put another poll in the chat right now. Ace, go ahead, lead the convo on this one.
Yeah, when it comes to Anthony Volpe, I've been saying it. I don't think he should be handed the shortstop spot as soon as he gets back. If the kid goes out there and earns it, I'm all for it. The best man should get the job at the end of the day. But in the interim, we're looking at a platoon of Caballero and Cabrera. Some recent rumors are popping up that the Yankees did reach out to the Nationals and have inquired about CJ Abrams. That's a move that, we'll talk about a little bit later. But when it comes to Volpe, it's just, it sucks because I see moments where I'm like, okay, this kid has potential. Hitting a grand slam in the World Series, great. I've seen moments where I'm like, okay, I could see what the Yankees are looking at, but I've also seen a lot of failure moments throughout the way. And it's something that he's going to have to try to overcome when, he's trying to get his job back. What I think the Yankees will ultimately do, I think they'll end up handing him his job back. But I've said it numerous amount of times. The Yankees need to fix shortstop and stop trying to fix Anthony Volpe.
We got a new poll that's in the chat right now. Should Anthony Volpe be worried about his job? And the answer is quite simple. It's yes, no, and the last one, Cashman loves chicken parm. So you guys decide which one you guys want to vote on. I'll kick it over to you and then throw it over to Brophy. And shout out to my guy, Jason Custodio, who said the Yankees should trade for Colson Montgomery, the White Sox shortstop, as another lefty bat. We need some right-handed bats in that lineup. But I do like him, though. Go ahead, brother.
I think Volpe, once he returns from this injury, I think is going to get handed his job right back. I think his defense will rebound. I think, unless you know what that kind of injury feels like, he was wearing that injury defensively, and then that led to mental mistakes. And it's hard to cover up those mental mistakes, with 1,000 cameras on you. If he doesn't figure it out after this year hitting-wise, I don't think they're going to get rid of him, but I don't think his job is secure as a starter. He's not making all that much money. And I think, if he can start working on some second base, if they're not going to re-sign Jazz, he's got a role in this organization. And I don't think his value is high enough to trade him. So I think you work on him internally. You give him a chance to rebound from that injury. And if he can't, then you figure it out. And then you start to work on second base and being a bench option because he has value. He's got speed. And if he fixes that defense, he's got a good glove. If he can just get his bat up to MLB average, he's good. He's a good player, but he just has to fix those lows. He's got it in there. It's just a matter of doing it.
If you guys can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. The link to E's Instagram channel is in the chat. I'm trying to look for it right now so I can pin it. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Uncle Boogie is in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's. Blessings, health, and happiness to everybody that's in the chat. Jay Boogie, I appreciate you. Brophy, my fault. I wasn't paying attention to the private notes. I apologize about that. But I know you wanted to chime in. Because that's one of your favorite topics as well when it comes to Anthony Volpe and the Yankees shortstop position. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and then when we're done, I wanted to bring up something else as well. So with Volpe, I posted a video to my Twitter last year after the series in August when they were down here in Tampa, and I'll see if I can find it again and I'll retweet it out on my Twitter account. But what I've noticed with his swing is that his swing, if I remember correctly, his swing is flatter than it was when he was down here in Tampa. Because when he was down here, he would kind of scoop the ball a little bit and lift it more. And now it's just more flat and just kind of line drive, ground ball kind of deals. So I think they need to fix his swing. Like the whole mechanics of the swing has to be worked on once he gets the shoulder, all fixed up and rehabbed and all that. But I'm curious what happens with the shortstop role in the long term, because we can talk about short term all day. They're going to have the platoon. It could be the platoon plus Volpe, and that's just a big platoon. Who knows? But what do they do with George Lombard? Because he's knocking on the door. He's going to be in AAA all year. They don't want to mess this up again. Because realistically, it should have been Peraza that played shortstop. Volpe should have come up in 24. Given him the year to play in AAA, given him that one more year to mature and work on things and perfect it and all that. I don't think they're going to mess this up again. They're going to have Lombard play the whole year, maybe call him up in September when the rosters expand. But do they put him at third base? Do they put him at shortstop and then move Volpe to second? I think Volpe would be better at second than he would be at third just because of his arm. I think his arm fits a lot better at second than really anywhere else on the field, even better at shortstop. But I'm really curious long term with what that whole roster positioning looks like.
When you look at the Yankees' top prospects, it's interesting to see what happens with George Lombard Jr. Because if you talk to several scouts, if he was in the athletics organization, he'll probably be in the major leagues just off his defense alone. Defensively, he's probably the best glove that the Yankees have in their system. Somebody that has opened eyes tremendously has been Dax Kelby. He has opened so many, and the thing is, they drafted him, and his body, he's growing into that body. Like his body, he's the one thing is that he's most likely he's more athletic than George Lombard Jr. That he can move out into the outfield. You could put in left field, right field, maybe even center. But he most likely, because of his body size, will have to move from that shortstop position. But I'm interested to see what happens with him.
Hector, can I add one?
Jonathan.
If you remember the Yankee draft last year, they drafted 6 shortstops. Drafting 6 shortstops told me that they do not trust Volpe long term in the shortstop position. You do not draft 6 shortstops when you have a shortstop already.
True.
Yeah, but also to a different point too, to play both sides of it. Also, those shortstops aren't going to be ready for a while. It's not like they're going to be up the year after, but what to John's point, to Brophy's point. Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, they've always been deep in that shortstop, second base, third base kind of positioning. Like for as long as I've covered them or followed them down here, and in the past decade, they've always been deep over there. And realistically, none of them are really panned out.
Yeah. A lot of hit and misses. Go ahead, Ace.
To Brophy, back to Brophy's point, he was saying, like, what do the Yankees do? What ultimately scares me is if George Lombard Jr. proves that he's ready this year, Volpe proves that he's healthy this year, would the Yankees move on from Jazz, give Volpe the second base spot, and give Lombard Jr. the shortstop spot? That would be something I'd be a little worried about, because Jazz is the better player, but it doesn't seem like the Yankees are sold on extending him, and he's a guy that could get value. Still a young guy. He's going to be a free agent. A team could take him on, decide to try to extend him, let him walk, get him off their books. But that's the reality that might scare me a little bit.
But to your point, do they offer Jazz a qualifying offer?
I
And
would rather offer him than Trent Grisham. What they did. If you
Oh,
offer
yeah.
Trent Grisham a qualified offer, you got to give it to Jazz, and it'd be more valuable with Jazz.
I think
they'll
offer him one.
they'll definitely offer it to Jazz. Jazz is younger than Trent Grisham, and if the Yankees decide to let Jazz Chisholm walk in free agency, they'll just go with the copy and paste generic Yankees answer of Anthony Volpe is more cost effective for the organization when it comes to the payroll. You know, when you look at Anthony Volpe and how much we could tap and find the perfect lane for Anthony Volpe, it's going to be the generic copy and paste answer. Ian Hawaiian in the chat says Anthony Volpe, E6, the E in Volpe has a Gold Glove because of Anthony Rizzo. Facts. 100%. And also because Juan LaFranco's a fucking idiot. You can't forget
I was going
that.
to say that too. I was like, well.
A big reason why Anthony Volpe has that Gold Glove is because of Anthony Rizzo. And that's before Fernando Tatis threw his ass in his face, you know?
And there was also another guy who was injured most of that year who didn't qualify. I forget who it was.
You saying Gunnar or Bobby?
No, maybe it was Gunnar, but there was another shortstop that year that was injured for a large part of that year, and I think that prevented him from getting the Gold Glove.
It wasn't Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby
I just gotta
was
say,
behind him.
yeah, Bobby was right behind them. I just want to say real quick, we got over 171 in the building rocking out with us collectively, 65 on YouTube. If you guys can hit that like button, we're sitting at 31 likes on YouTube. Let's try to get as close as we can to 60 likes on the live. And like always, make sure you guys are following everybody that's on the panel. Jonathan, he just likes to troll people on Twitter, but make sure you guys are following Ace. Make sure you guys are following the Pinstripe Bugle, and make sure you guys are following my guy John Brophy on every social media platform that is out there. I'm going to start picking up some chats real quick. Give me 1 second and we'll come back to the panel real quick. L.I. Yankee King, every Yankee fan's favorite troll in the Yankee universe. He says the reality about the Yankees is that they can buy all they want. They never be good until they build and not buy. If not, they will continue this era of mediocrity. Okay. Shout out to you, L.I. Yankee King. Jason Custodio says, I'm hoping Caballero takes the shortstop job. I think every Yankee fan out there is hoping that Caballero takes the shortstop job from Anthony Volpe. I don't think it's going to happen, but hey, you never know. Where is the MVP great? Grace is off tonight. No Grace Monroe. She will be back on Thursday. Yes, indeed. Anybody want to take Brophy? You said you wanted to another conversation that you wanted to lead us into. Go ahead, Brophy.
So we're talking about having outfielders, too many outfielders for the three positions, but I was thinking something that's not being discussed too much is what happens with Ben Rice at first base. Are they going to play a platoon of Rice and Bellinger, and then that'll give an opportunity for whether it's Dominguez or Jones or whoever to play in whatever Bellinger's spot would be? You know, because they're going to have Bellinger and Grisham and Judge and, you know, and the two kids. What are they going to do with that first base role? Because are they going to play Escara because he could play first? We've seen him play first base, but I would rather have personally. I mean, I love Escara, cool dude, but if you're going to be paying Cody Bellinger all that money and he can play every day, I'd rather have him at first base if he's going to have the utility. Or are they going to play Oswaldo? You know, there's so many different what ifs, and then we'll probably see it play out during the spring, but I'm just curious what you guys think as far as how that would all play out.
Whoever wants to go first, you can go first. Go ahead.
Oswaldo is a very interesting piece in this whole situation because he was injured last year. I think if he didn't get injured, we probably would not have McMahon on the team. I think Oswaldo was pretty good at the third base position, but I
agree.
I think Ben Rice will have the majority of time at first base.
Yeah.
Go ahead, E. Erica, let me know if you're ready to give me a thumbs up if you're good to come up, Erica. I'll bring you up. All right, go ahead, E.
I don't think it's too far-fetched or too much of a pipe dream to think that they bring back Goldschmidt on a low one-year deal.
No.
He still hasn't signed nowhere, and this year you don't have to start him every single day. You could start Ben Rice over him every single day and put Goldie in there against tough lefties. Give Rice that break against lefties. But if they don't, add someone to platoon with him, I could see Oswaldo taking it, but I think they believe in Ben Rice to hit both lefty and righty, and I think they're going to give him a chance to do it.
Ace, go ahead, brother. Erica, I miss you so much. I hope all is well, Erica.
Good to see you, Miss Erica. But yeah, look. You got a lot of versatile players that can play multiple positions. Oswaldo Cabrera is one of them. I personally would like to see him win the shortstop spot, only because I like Jose Caballero's versatility coming off the bench late in the game, being able to steal bases, get in the pitcher's head, all that stuff. When it comes to Cabrera, I think he's a victim of his versatility. They're not going to just outright give him the shortstop job because they like the fact that he can play everywhere. I'm not opposed to, let's say you don't bring back a Paul Goldschmidt, right, on the short term, or let's say you don't even get yourself another backup first baseman. If you're going to just platoon first base, give the majority of the job to Ben Rice, which I think he's earned that opportunity. And whenever Wells needs a day off, if you're going to move Ben Rice behind the plate and have Bellinger play some first base, and that maybe opens up a couple outfield spots, I'm okay with that. We do have an influx of outfielders, but you know how the old baseball adage and the baseball saying goes, ultimately it always figures itself out at the end of the day. But I just hope that it doesn't figure itself out in the way of a major injury, and these guys can just earn their spot and maybe give a Domínguez a real opportunity this year.
I want to say Pretty Lou says, hell no. And shout out to the good people over there at Mama D's Empanada. Pretty Lou, I hope all is well. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's to you. That's Baseball Erica, another Yankee dope content creator, a good friend that I've known for quite a while out here on these internet streets. Erica, I hope all is well with you, the family, the payroll. But give us your take on the conversation.
So I just jumped in. I literally sat down. I just got done with work. A lot's been going on. I moved into a new house, so I just been.
Hey, congratulations on the move. Congratulations.
Yeah. So as for I just jumped in. I know you guys are talking about Caballero. So I apologize. I just saw the StreamYard link and I got hyped and I was like, click real quick. I finally caught you guys. Finally.
All right,
I hope everyone's doing well.
Just so you know, Brophy, he brought up the question of the first base position. Can you see it? Brophy, refresh everybody's mind. I don't want to put words in your mouth or speak for you. Go ahead.
So my logic was because they have so many outfielders currently with the situation, and there's no backup option for Ben Rice. Is a platoon possible with Rice and Bellinger, giving the opportunity for Domínguez and Jones to play in the outfield?
I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then you said Jones and Domínguez playing out in the outfield. I think Jones has the potential to be an outfielder for the Yankees this season, but I really am on board. And it's so unfortunate because I love Jasson Domínguez, and Grace isn't on here, but I'm sure, it pains her to hear this from me, but they got to trade him. Once they signed Bellinger, I immediately assumed that was going to be the next move. And it's unfortunate because this just seems to be an ongoing situation with the Yankees where they hold on to these prospects. I'm sure there was someone out there that we could have gotten for Jasson Domínguez a couple years ago. And now I feel like his value is just, it's just not what it was. And I love Jasson Domínguez, but you already have too many lefties. And as of right now, as much as I want him to be out there and show, and learn on the fly on how to hit, lefties better from the right hand side. I just think there's not a spot for him on this roster. But yeah, once I saw Bellinger got signed, I was like, I like that he can play first baseman as a backup to Ben Rice. It gives a lot of options with that signing. But yeah, I think Spencer Jones would have more of an opportunity there than Domínguez, unfortunately.
I know you got you got to dip out in a few seconds. I'll throw it over to you to give your last take before I let you get out of here, brother. But I'll throw it over to you. Go ahead, my guy.
I think a lot will come from the first couple weeks of spring training. I think these are all, who's going to be the fourth outfielder, who's going to play backup first base. I think in history, our team has a way of sorting itself out in the first couple of days of spring training, first couple of weeks of the games. And I think that our team is in a much better position than we were last year. If you look at the starting roster comparably, I think we're more well-rounded. We have better MLB talent. And I think, instead of arguing who we should get rid of or who we should bring in, I think we should be just happy that our team is good. Vegas projects us to be top of the East, and barring some health and getting some key guys back, I think our team's set up for success, and just have to go out there and play some ball.
Evan, I appreciate you, brother. I look forward to you joining in more on these conversations.
Thank you.
But
Nice to meet all of
you have yourself a good some good dinner out there with the fiance. All right, with the lovely fiance. Best
Nice
of
to
luck,
meet all
brother.
of you.
Appreciate you, man. And nice to meet you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. As Evan leave, we got Jasson. Mr. 161 is in the building himself. Jay, how are you doing, brother?
What's up?
Hi.
Y'all hear me?
You look, yeah, we can hear you. You look excited
Can you
to
guys
join
hear me?
us.
Or am I on mute or something for some reason?
Nah, you're good. We can hear you. We can hear you.
I can't hear you guys.
Well, if you want to refresh and rejoin Jasson,
What did I do to myself here? Hang on.
As Jasson tries to figure out the technical difficulties, I want to shout out the chat and everybody who was in the building. My guy, NYC Pinstripe Club is in the building. Salute. Another dope Yankee content creator. Make sure you guys go out there and give him a follow. Must have snacks. Just put it in the chat. Do you guys think the Yankees would trade for CJ Abrams to platoon with Anthony Volpe? Anybody want to take that one?
I think, like we were saying before, I think there's too many options going on. With
That's another
shortstop.
lefty.
Caballeros, the guy.
And on top of that, it's another lefty.
It's another lefty.
The Yankees need a mighty bat. They will not trade for a lefty.
There you go, Jay. You can hear us now.
I can hear you guys. What's going on?
What's good? We got Mr. Jasson 161 River Ave is in the building. Jasson, I hope all is well, my guy.
Yeah, everything is good, man. My back is a little sore. I've been shoveling like 6 times over the last couple of days, so a lot of snow. But everything is good, man. Everything is good.
Brophy's rubbing it in our face because he's down there in Tampa. He said he's going to get a few inches of flurries, and he's throwing it in our face.
They're saying a third of an inch. But the good thing is, hey, we haven't had measurable snow since 1977, so I'll take whatever I can get.
He said a third of an inch.
Are you gonna survive? Damn.
Well, the timing is perfect because we get hockey this weekend down at Raymond James, so that'll be good. If it snows in Tampa during a hockey game, you can't get anything better than that, right?
Hey, you know what? I'm rooting for you now. So I want to just touch on that real quick. I don't think the Yankees trade for CJ Abrams. One, I'm not sure what the asking price is going to be for CJ Abrams. Jasson, since you just came in and that was what we just brought up, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, he's good. He could be a leadoff hitter, but it doesn't address the need for a right-handed bat. And I think that, I think they would be much if they could trade for Nico Horner, they'd be better off trading for Nico Horner over CJ Abrams.
Facts. I agree.
And who could also be a leadoff hitter. He's a righty, plays elite defense. I think they'd be better. Go.
Who would you give up in a Horner trade? We've talked about this.
Cubs are looking for pitching. Louis, if they could take Luis Hill, I would take Luis Hill. I'd give them probably another pitching prospect, and I mean, like one major league starter and 2 prospects, not named Ben Hess, not named Elmer Rodriguez, not named Carlos Lagrange.
And I think honestly, that's where it hurts the Yankees because it's if you're a team out there, you're gonna want the most you can in return for whatever you're giving up, whoever you're giving up, right? So if you're the Cubs, every player that you mentioned, not this, not that, that's the player that they're gonna want. They're gonna want Ben Hess. They're gonna want Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. The reason why Freddie Peralta did the Mets press conference today, I was able to be in that one as well. Shout out to Latino Sports. But the reason why Freddie Peralta is a Met is because they gave up better prospects than the Yankees offered for Freddie Peralta because the Yankees did not want to move off of Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. You saw what the reports were, DK, for Tariq Skubal and what the Yankees didn't want to give up, and that was for Tariq Skubal, right? So if I understand when it comes to prospects, you want to hold on to what you can hold on to, but at the end of the day, the Yankees have a very small and limited window to winning with Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole. That window is so tiny, it's getting tinier by the day, and if you're not maximizing your opportunity to win with those guys, Who cares about a prospect that's going to be in the big leagues 3 or 4 years down the line?
But to your point, do you think that limited window allows for a guy like Alma Rodriguez Cruz to play this year?
I don't know, Jason.
If they think that guy can help them this year, and let's say he comes out of spring training and has a great spring training, could you see him in the starting rotation this year?
If the Yankees want to treat him like they treated Johnny Brito some years ago, I'm all for it. Like if they got what it takes if they can get out big league hitters, why not? I remember in 2005 when that season was lost, it wasn't until the Yankees decided to replace Tony Womack with Robinson Cano and bring up Ching-Ming Wang for that starting rotation and some random ass guy named Aaron Small. If it wasn't for that, the Yankees in 2005 would have never made the postseason. So you never know who you have. You could find lightning in a bottle with whoever. My one frustration is that growing up as a Yankee fan, I've never seen the Yankees have their version of like a of Michael Pineda when he was good with the Seattle Mariners. I've never seen the Yankees have their version of Ubaldo Jimenez when he first came up, and that's the one frustrating thing as a Yankee fan. We've never had that when it comes to pitching. Offensive players, maybe, but for the pitching, we haven't developed those pitchers.
And if I can add something to your point too, if I'm going to trade big prospects at this point right now with the starters that we have coming back, I'd rather do it for a guy that's going to play every day than someone who's not going to be a number one starter. Okay, Peralta would not be our number one. He might be our number 3, maybe. Right, and I'm not giving up that much for a 3, and there's no way in the world I'm giving it up for a 4 in Mackenzie Gore. So that's why Nico Horner to me is a better value because he plays every day, multiple needs for the Yankees. So I would be willing. This is me though. I'd be more willing to give up more for Nico Horner. I think it's willing to. I'm willing to have that hurt a little bit more for Horner than I am for any of those pitchers. And that to me, I mean, again, like the 2 biggest needs in my opinion, and again, I don't work for the Yankees, but is getting one more power reliever and a right-handed bat, right? And you get a power reliever, and there's 2 guys that pop up in my head: Garrett Clevenger from Tampa Bay and Jeremiah Estrada from the Padres. Okay,
and that is why I think Jasson Domínguez could be traded and probably should be traded for the righty bat or power.
Jonathan, hold on. Jonathan, I want to toss it over and get Ace, Erica, and Brophy into the conversation. Whichever one of the 3 of you guys want to chime in, because that's a good idea when it comes to Nico Horner from the Cubs. But I'm not sure if Chicago wants to trade him. But Ace, Brophy, Erica, whoever wants to jump in, you're more than welcome to.
Go ahead, Erica.
Go ahead, Erica. Yeah. All right, so I'll go.
We've been talking, so give you an opportunity.
Go ahead, Erica.
I think August or September or something like that. I thought that Clevenger would be the way to go, but I think internally Rodriguez. I've been hearing buzz that Rodriguez is supposed to go into the bullpen long term, and I think that's the way to go with Carlos Lagrange being your power guy. I mean, even him, realistically, with the rotation that they have, that they're going to have for a little while, you could put Lagrange into the bullpen, make him a long reliever. You could do the same thing with Rodriguez, make him a long reliever. You're going to have Schmidt, you're going to have Heel. There's a lot of different options that they have. But I really liked what I saw in Tampa last year with Clevenger. That would be the way that I would go.
It's legit. Big power left-hand. Big time. The hardest throwing left-handed reliever in the game.
Yeah.
Erica?
I'm just listening to your guys' takes on these topics because, like I said, I've been so in the dark with a lot of those kinds of moves. Obviously, the bigger moves that are, surface level. So I'm actually interested. I'm listening. That's why I was just like, no, go for it. As far as like options that we have for trades because I do agree that we need somebody in the bullpen. And a right-handed bat. And a lot of people are mad that we haven't made the sexy move, but I've been trying to explain to people, and I'm sure you guys have said it because you guys are intelligent Yankee fans, that running it back isn't the worst thing to do when your outfield was so successful last year. You have so many pitchers coming back. You addressed a lot of the holes during the trade deadline last year. The bullpen is looking a little scarce, so that's why I'm saying they need the righty reliever. But I'm just kind of listening to your guys' takes because I'm kind of learning a little bit too.
No, all good, all good. Go.
That's what
Hold on,
we're
Jonathan.
here
Hold on, wait. Jonathan, hold on. I want Ace because Ace was trying to chime in next. Go ahead, Ace, and
No,
I'll kick it over to
you're good.
Jonathan.
Multiple things, and I'm gonna hit them all at once. Jason, I'm right there with you. Nico Horner, if I was a Yankee fan, if I was the Yankees, it'd be a priority. A guy that you could immediately go out there, put at shortstop. You know he's gonna rake. You know he's gonna hit. Can play shortstop. The only reason he's not playing shortstop for Chicago is because Danby Swanson. They're paying him a lot of money. So that's the only reason he's not a starting shortstop over there. Obviously he's on a 1-year deal. I do think it's a possibility you can bring him back, but it's a guy that has the tools, can be our leadoff hitter. You want to talk about emulating Toronto and what they did as far as, just putting bat to ball skills. I think Nico Horner is that option. When it comes down to, I'm going to start reiterating some of the things we talked about, last show with Keith McPherson as well. I think a right-handed bat is something that the Yankees desperately need, but also a right-handed catcher. I'd hit up Minnesota, try to get Ryan Jeffers. He's on a 1-year deal. He could also be available. When it comes to the pitching, starting pitching, bullpen is something I think that we will always be okay with. The Yankees will always figure it out at the end of the day in the Cashman and Blake era. Starting pitching, I would give the young guys the opportunity. I said this last show. I would give ERC and LaGrange an opportunity as a trial run. You know that Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon are coming back at some point in time. Give them that, if they play well in spring training, give them an opportunity to face big league hitting, and it gives them that experience. And you tell them, no matter how good or bad you're doing, when these guys come back, we're going to send you down to develop for multiple reasons. You get to work closer with Matt Blake, and then you get experience with Garrett Cole. Because how many times have we seen Garrett Cole take a guy under his wing like a Clark Schmidt? That experience that you're going to get from being up in the major leagues is invaluable. You're not going to get that anywhere else. You're not going to get that type of coaching. So that's the reason why I would start the season off with those guys.
And the other thing, too, is there's another young guy at WF, too, Cam Schlittler. Be 3 young Thunder kids. So, 2 of them. They're not there by themselves with the Wolves. They got somebody already there who's done it for at least half of last
year. Yeah.
And there's one other guy that nobody else has mentioned because he's coming back from injury, and that is Chase Hampton. Chase Hampton, I think, could be a sleeper this year if he comes back healthy. And I'm very curious what they do with him.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick before we keep the conversation going on, folks in the chat, we got 232 people that are watching us collectively on YouTube. We got over 70 people. So if you guys can, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys can drop a super chat, $1, $2, whatever you do, it goes a long way. Keeping the lights on and also letting YouTube know that you like the content that you are seeing. They will push us in the algorithm to get more Yankee fans and more baseball fans into the conversation. We just ended the poll with Anthony Volpe, and it says, should Anthony Volpe be worried about his job? We had 51 people vote. 63% say yes, he should be worried. 20% says no, and 17% says Cashman loves chicken parm, so his job is safe. Thank you guys so much. So you guys for participating in the poll. We just added a new poll in the chat right now. Should the Yankees give the young pitchers a chance to pitch in the MLB this season? We only got 2 answers, yes and no. It's pretty simple. Erica, I know you wanted to chime in. Go ahead so we keep the conversation going.
No, I was gonna say, I think it was to Ace's point. I do like having them get the experience early on because, yeah, you're getting Rodon and Cole back eventually, but you don't know what version of Cole you're getting back. I mean, this is the first time he's gonna be coming back. This is his first Tommy John or First. So yeah, you don't know, and he's getting older. So you don't know what hiccups they're gonna hit in the middle of the season. Hopefully none. I'm not like wishing or manifesting that, but having these young guys have that experience, it's not like you're gonna just give them that fresh experience in the middle of the season when it's like an break glass in case of emergency situation. So yeah, I do like having them maybe be at the end of the rotation, but we'll see.
It also makes it easier to, if you needed to trade somebody like Luis Hill for a Nico Horner, it makes it easy to do that because you have these guys that can step right in and fill in the spot without having to throw them to the wolves. Like with Cole coming back and Rodon coming back, it's not like you're throwing these guys to throw 180 innings, have their arms.
And our starting pitching health doesn't have the best track record because Hill, Cole, and Schmidt all went down pretty quickly.
Also, with these guys coming back, do you think that could make Will Warren a trade piece in July?
Oh my god, I forgot about Will Warren.
Well, there was a comment in the comment section that I wanted to bring up. My guy Yankee Dave, shout out to Yankee Dave, one of the best people to run into at Yankee Stadium. My brother from another mother, who says, do you think the Yankees will make a big trade during the All-Star break, basically at the trade deadline?
At the trade deadline, yes.
I think any of our young, depending on where the Yankees are at in the standings, if the Yankees are in first place with a nice lead, a nice cushion, I'm not sure if Brian Cashman would be desperate to make a move. But if the Yankees are in second place or in that wild card hunt, I think Brian Cashman, every young pitcher will be available in a trade if it makes sense, because he's not trying to hurt himself, basically, in any of these trades. You've seen it in the contract negotiation with Cody Bellinger. What have hurt the Yankees in the past have been bad contracts. A bad contract with Aaron Hicks, a bad contract with DJ LeMahieu, a bad contract with Luis Severino. And I'm okay with the Yankees giving Cody Bellinger the 5-year deal in the way that it was structured, because if Cody Bellinger goes out there and he has a solid 2 seasons and he decides to opt out so he could re-up and get a bigger bag as he gets up there in age, go ahead. You helped us out. You did what you did. You had your old timers day with your father. You got your money from the Yankees. Go ahead. We'll figure out our left field situation. I just think going into this season, 2026, the Yankees didn't have much options when it came to left field. It was important to bring back Cody Bellinger. So if he opts out, I'm okay with it.
In all honesty, too, I think it's a better value than paying $60 million a year for Kyle Tucker, who's not twice as good as Cody Bellinger. So,
yeah, that contract's crazy.
That contract is, listen, I'm too broke to even talk about his contract. But something that we're trying to start implementing over here when it comes to Yanks Morning Brew, Yanks Afternoon Brew, whatever you want to call this, we're trying to implement a mailbag portion of the show. So we told you guys on the last live stream, put in the comments section any topics or anything that you had when it came to our conversation. Ace, I forgot what you told me to add. So I know this is a layup to you. So I'm going to throw it over to you. What did you tell me privately that I should add that I forgot?
Basically at the end of the show, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are rewatching, basically, just like Hector was saying, ask us any questions that you want as Yankee related, but also ask us non-Yankee related questions, just so you can get to know the host of Uptown Sports.
Basically, yes. So if you want to know any questions about myself or Ace or Grace, put in the comments section. If you guys want to know what John Brophy's favorite Pokemon is, put in the comments section as well. Same thing for Jonathan, Erica, and Jason. But we got a couple of questions from last week, a couple of topics. We're going to keep rocking out to about like 6:30. So the first one, and it's funny that Erica's up here because she can't stand this man. Austin Wells. When it comes to Austin Wells, Double A put in the chat, we need a new catcher. Did JT Realmuto sign? Yes, JT Realmuto re-signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. So the question to the panel and to the folks in the chat, what do the Yankees do behind the plate? Is Austin Wells the future, or should the Yankees pivot? Erica, lead us in the conversation.
So as much as I love him, and my husband even knows, but as much as I love him, I think that the Yankees, he's serviceable right now, but I think that it's time to pivot. And I don't know what the options are out there, but I would at least like to see a solid backup catcher for him, at least when it comes to facing lefties, because or like a right-handed catcher. Just because it was rough to watch. And I like him behind the plate, but what's going to happen when robo-umps completely take over? The framing isn't going to matter. Is it going to matter anymore? I don't know. It shouldn't, realistically, but I don't know like how they're going to implement it or whatever. But yeah, he's had plenty of chances already, and he shows glimpses, but it's just it hasn't panned out. So I just don't know what's out there. I know that Real Muto was something that was being dangled, but where is he back with the Phillies?
3 years.
Yeah, he's back with the Phillies. 3 years. He re-upped with them.
Yeah, but ultimately, I do think it's time to start looking elsewhere, and I don't think he's the catcher of the future. I do love him, as you guys know, but it was frustrating to watch him offensively this season and the season prior.
Would you go pivot or platoon? Would you go?
I mean, I think he's fine as a platoon. But who's going to be the backup right now? Who is our backup?
JC.
Ben Rice and JC or JC.
Oh, JC.
Scar.
Yeah, JC Escara.
But then you're going same problems last
I
year.
don't want to
going
do
with
that
three
again.
lefty catchers. Yeah, so this is why I think like I'm with the platoon route. This is why I said go get a guy, go trade for a guy like Ryan Jeffers, guy on the final year of his contract, wouldn't cost you too much. I wanted a guy like James McCann off of free agency, just that right-handed bat because like we saw Austin Wells have one of his best years when he was platooning with Jose Trevino. So, you know, catcher is a hard position to play. It really is. So why not give him a couple of days off? Don't just same thing with Anthony Volpe. Don't just guarantee him that spot. When he struggles, sit him a couple of days. Even if it's righty versus righty, sit him a couple of days, let him get his head right and see if he can correct himself.
The other problem with the Yankees is they've traded at least 5 catchers over the last 2 years.
Who panned out.
But nobody panned out, but they could at least be a righty option.
Which one hurt the most?
Who hurt
Honestly,
the most?
Navarez, Ramirez.
I would say Navarez just because of his defensive metrics and how he calls a game. I know to start the season, his offense looked phenomenal, but he fell off. He came back down to earth after his hot start. But defensively and just his relationship with a lot of the young Yankee players, specifically Oswaldo Cabrera, they're like best friends. John Brophy know that. Like their relationship is it goes real deep with their family. But shout out to the New York Weekend with the $5 super chat helping us keep the lights on. And helping me with my World Baseball Classic funding. Oh, Puerto Rico. Oh, appreciate you, Ace, for the alley-oop. He says, I'm in no rush to trade Jasson. Grish can go back to his old self while Belly and especially Stanton can easily get hurt. Let things play out. Absolutely, New York Weekend. Brophy, I'll toss it over to you to continue the conversation when it comes to Senor Bigote, Austin Wells.
And Bigote, I don't know. I remember talking to him in 2021 when he was down here in Tampa, and we were talking about ABS because it was the first year that ABS was implemented in professional baseball. Florida State League was their test market. So I asked him, what do you think of it? And he said, I really like it. The thing that I really like about it is the umpires get to learn where the pitches belong. So they learn what's a strike, that kind of thing. And kind of on a tangent, I like the challenge system more than the full ABS. We had full ABS at the time, but I guess they're going to implement the challenge system in Major League Baseball. But he likes ABS, so knowing that, I think will have him have a leg up. All of the catching possibilities, whether it's Rice or Escar or whoever, have all played with ABS in AAA, so they all have experience with it. So that's a plus.
That's a great point.
Compared to Remuto, I think he's been in the majors longer than what ABS was implemented. So he would say hypothetically, if the Yankees were to have signed him, that would have been something that may hinder his performance compared to someone like a Wells or Escara or a Rice. Now that said, I do agree with the platoon. I don't know if Escara is going to be the long-term platoon guy because there's been so many rumblings of the Yankees trying to move him. I don't know. I don't really know what the plan is with that. And then I was just looking at their depth chart, and it's kind of non-existent as far as catcher depth. Like the only guy that I really like of the depth is in single A, maybe high A. We have like Manuel Palencia. He played in the Arizona Fall League this year, but he's in Hudson Valley. He's way too far up to be even anything worth considering right now.
Guys in the chat, I just want to take a quick commercial break. We got over 260 people that are in the building. And my guy, Jonathan, a.k.a. Mr. Do Your Job, says we got 53 likes. We got over 74 people who are watching us on YouTube. If you guys can, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you guys aren't a member to the channel, hit the sub, drop a super chat. It goes a long way. Interact with the poll, interact with the community tab, join the Discord. The link is in the description of the chat. Make sure you guys are subscribing to my guy Ace Avenue over there on his channel, Jason161, Mr. John Brophy as well. And you can follow Jonathan trolling LI Yankee King on Twitter. All right, just he has a good time over there trolling LI Yankee King. But to keep the conversation going, when it comes to Austin Wells, I'm gonna give my take real quick. And shout out to Jacob Petruzzi, one of the best moderators that are out there. He just dropped Ace's link to his channel in the chat. Jacob, I appreciate you, my guy. When it comes to Austin Wells, it's been kind of frustrating seeing his development, because when he was first drafted, Brophy, and everybody else on the panel, we were told that his bat was going to get him to the major leagues. The question about Austin Wells was always his defense. Now, I got to give him credit. He worked on his defense in the minors, and he has turned himself into one of the best defensive catchers in the American League. It's just we haven't seen that bat that we was promised coming out of the draft. And where, if you're the Yankees, you have to ask yourself, does he need more time? Is he just a defensive catcher? What are you going to do with Austin Wells? And I don't like the whole two catcher situation. I love JC Escara. Him and I built an amazing relationship last year during the season. He's an amazing human being, a phenomenal person. I could see him being a coach and his future. He's just a great guy. But I think the Yankees, they have to go out there and get a right-handed right-handed backup catcher. And Jeffries from Minnesota makes perfect sense. That's always the guy. To just let everybody know, when I played MLB The Show, I never liked picking the Yankees, just because that was always a rule of mine. I will always do randomly what was the franchise, and sometimes it was either Minnesota, Seattle, or Colorado. And Jeffries was always somebody that I was like, always liked them. Young kid coming up, so I think Jeffries as a backup righty bat, as a catcher, would be a perfect solution for the New York Yankees. What would be the asking price? I don't know, but I'm not in the war room with Brian Cashman. I don't think they go into the season with 2 or 3 left-handed backup catchers, because with Ben Rice, you saw him last year play catch a couple of games behind the plate. He could play first base, and to Brophy's point, with Cody Bellinger and all these outfielders, whether it's Jasson Domínguez or Spencer Jones, I could see them having Cody Bellinger play first base with Jasson Domínguez in the outfield, or Spencer Jones, and maybe Ben Rice is behind the plate, giving Austin Wells a day off. You never know. That's why versatility is always key.
Just want to add real quick, random thing. Ben Rice can play third base. He's never played third base professionally, but he played third base in a prep school.
I said that last year. I was on that. Jacob knows. Jacob got the clip. He clipped it. I was like one of the first people last year was like, yo, give this dude a chance at third. And everybody's like, Ace is dumb. That shit sounds stupid. I'm like, bro, why not? We needed that hole. I mean, we had the hole over there at third base. You know, he's young enough. He's athletic. I said that. I was on that train.
Because when he played first base the first time in Tampa, with Low A Tampa, I was in communication with his prep high school coach. And I was like, hey, what's with him playing first base? Oh, yeah, he played first base and third base for me in high school. But he was drafted as a catcher because that's where he's strongest.
Listen, man, if he played it before, I wouldn't be scared of putting it. If Mookie Betts could be a short, I know Mookie Betts is amazing. But listen, I'm all for it. We need to figure something out when it comes to the roster construction. Anybody else want to? Jason, I'll throw it over to you when it comes to Austin Wells. I didn't get your take on it.
Man, I do think a right-handed platoon catcher will be a good idea. And he was also, when he was drafted too, there was also talk about him potentially playing first base too. But now I think Ben Rice is going to get the majority of the first base, obviously, which means he's going to get less reps behind the plate. So I do think the need for a right-handed catcher is more apparent, because I do think they're going to wind up trading Escara. I do think that. I like him though, but I think they're going to wind up trading for bullpen piece or something like that. If they, let's just say they trade for like Estrada from the Padres, I could see Escara going with Domínguez to the Padres for him. That just fits, because they're looking for catching, they're looking for outfield. So the fit is there. And Estrada's got 4 years of control. So that's probably going to be the price, unfortunately. And then I do think if they're going to move on from Escara, then they've got to bring in somebody who's going to be not only a good clubhouse guy, but he's like Ace said too, a righty platoon guy. And Jeffers seems to be a good fit to fit that bill. And he's got 1 year left, you said. So I don't know how much. I don't know who he cost that.
1 year, $266 last year.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a good,
solid,
nice compliment to Austin Wells.
I gotta ask you guys something, because Jacob Petruzzi just put something in the chat. I didn't see anything about this today. Heck, what about a deal for Moreno from Arizona? Any thoughts on Moreno?
All right. I need to read up a lot more of him.
What do we know about him?
I don't know, man. Let me see. Oh, is he talking about the catcher? Oh, you talking about the catcher? Oh, to make
Gabriel
a
Moreno.
Oh, Gabriel. Okay, I was confused for a
So
second. I thought you claimed him. So go ahead, Brophy.
I got Fangraphs open last year with Arizona. He played 83 games, had a slash of 285, 353, 433. Had a strikeout percentage of 17.2, walk rate of 9.4, so that's really good.
You bat
Had a
righty?
WAR of 2.7.
Yes.
He's a righty bat, righty throw. And he's a 1 year, $2.55 million contract. So he's super cheap.
Look,
But he only has 1 year control.
He's going to be a very. You're going to have to give up a lot for that guy. You're probably going to have to give up Jasson Domínguez plus pitching and maybe another catcher. I
Fun
think.
fact: this was a former Blue Jays prospect.
But yeah, I would not be against trading for him.
You know, I think what helped the Yankees too if they started drafting catchers in the top 5 rounds.
Yeah, I don't think they drafted a catcher.
We don't have a catcher. We don't have a single catcher in the top 30 prospects.
No. We traded them all. We traded them all.
Then after they've all been traded.
I'd be drafting them. I'd be drafting some catchers in the top 5 rounds because that's one of the quicker paths to the majors as a catcher if you draft it in the top 5 rounds, as opposed to shortstop, as opposed to the other positions too. So it's also one of the hits as well.
Yep.
A lot of value.
One of the mock drafts that I had for this last year, I had I forget who it was, but I had a catcher going in. I think it was the first or second round.
In the 26, the upcoming draft, or the 25?
This past one, 25.
I think it would be a good idea to draft a catcher in the top 5 rounds for a couple of years to kind of start to rebuild that. And I talked to Jonathan about this. Like internationally, I would be spending some money there to sign some catchers. Like they signed, I think, 4 already internationally. So
that's where all of their depth is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be loading up on.
Yeah. And look, and especially since they didn't sign their top international guy, they have so much money left in the international pool. They can trade some of that money for need. They can trade money in a deal for a backup catcher.
Yeah.
When it comes to Orson Welles, and this is my last take on him. People that I spoke to that are connected to the teams said that last year, when it came to Orson Welles, he took a step back when it came to his game preparation. You know, Jose Trevino, when he was with the Yankees, he was a stiffler on game prep, on being there on the field early, being at the games early, going through scouting reports, coming up with a game plan. And that's something that Orson Welles, he had that first year when Trevino was there injured. Trevino was a mentor towards Orson Welles. Trevino took on that role. Orson Welles didn't have that last year, and that kind of set Orson Welles up for failure because a lot of the pitchers were frustrated on the prep work that Orson Welles were doing before games. Now I'm not sure if that leaked over to his hitting. Maybe, I'm not too sure, but defensively he didn't take a step off. So I look to see how Orson Welles improved this year when it comes to that. If the Yankees stick with him, which I think the Yankees will most likely. If I had to go to Vegas to bet, I'm not betting the Yankees are moving off of Orson Welles, especially not after this year. I'll give it a couple of more seasons before the Yankees make that decision.
Yeah, and how many teams on baseball have catchers with 20 home runs multiple years in a row?
True. Even with his struggles offensively, he still had 20+ home run seasons. Absolutely right, Jason.
I don't know many that have that.
One thing about the Yankees, they don't need a catcher that hits 20 home runs. They need a catcher who can play solid defense and get you a bunch of hits.
Hey, we talked about this. Run prevention is just as important as run manufacturing. Defense, calling a game, being able to handle pitchers, starting in relief, that matters. Right. And the catcher's I was going to say the catcher's the only player that sees everybody on the field, looking one direction. Only player.
just want to give me a second real quick just to drop a quick commercial break. If you guys can, make sure you guys are following Latino Sports. We will be down at the World Baseball Classic and MLB Spring Training, giving you all the best behind-the-scene coverage, covering the New York Yankees, covering the New York Mets, and we got some folks that will be in Houston as well, covering the teams out there that are in spring training. On top of that, basically in 2 weeks, I will be down in Puerto Rico covering the NCAA PR Challenge. They did it last year. It was the first time ever that the NCAA had baseball games in Puerto Rico. This year is happening again, the second year in a row. They added more teams to it, so it's going to be in both Caguas and Ponce. So I will be down there. They're putting Latino Sports in a hotel. We're going to be interviewing the coaches, the players, so make sure you guys are following us. Everything that you guys do when it comes to super chats, when it comes to likes, when it comes to subscribers, it goes a long way, because the money that I make off here comes to funding me when I go on these trips, whether it's the All-Star Game, spring training, the World Baseball Classic. So we appreciate you guys for all that. Moving on to the next topic real quick. We got 270 in the building collectively. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. We're sitting on 62 likes with 71 people in the chat on YouTube. Hit that like button. But over to the next mailbag question. I know we kind of touched on it, but my guy Brian Singer said, Keith, this is when Keith was on. He said, hold on, it disappeared. Jesus Christ. He said, you're my guy. I'm happy Belly is back, but we need much more at the current time. I don't think the team is as good as last season. So the question to the panel and the question to the chat, do the Yankees need more? And if so, what is the move you want to see the Yankees make? And I'll throw that to you, Ace. I'll kick it over to you, and then we'll go over to Brophy, Jason, and then Jonathan. Go ahead, Ace.
Has this been the sexiest offseason? No. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. What we need going forward is the right moves instead of the big moves. I think the right moves can outweigh the big moves. Go get yourself a right-handed catcher, which something we talked about. Bullpen is something Yankees will always bolster up. Give one of these kids a starting opportunity out of spring training. But we need, in order for this team to be better than last year, we need guys to take the next step. We need a guy like Austin Wells, who we just talked about, to take that next step. We need a guy like Ben Rice to continue doing what he's doing. If there's another level in his bag, he needs to get to there as well. Not saying that he hasn't been great, because he is one of our best players. A Jasson Domínguez needs to be given an opportunity. When Anthony Volpe comes back, he needs to be playing better. And I think when it comes to this team overall, are we better than last year? It has yet to be seen. We have to see how this team ultimately plays out at the end of the day. This team was one of the league leaders in runs scored last year. That's no coincidence. Aaron Judge has to continue to be great on the cover of MLB The Show. Congratulations to the Cap once again.
Yes.
But I think that this team, has to improve in certain areas that we kind of fell short in last year. It's crazy that this team was one of the league leaders in runs scored, but runners in scoring position, we had a lot of people that were left on base and stuff like that. Just imagine if you knocked in half of those, it would be a wider margin of that. But I think this team, and I'm also looking at guys like Aaron Boone has to make better decisions when it comes to it. Could this team be better than last year? Absolutely. But you have to go out there and have that mentality, and also stop giving away games like we saw last year, because that obviously proved that one game was the difference between winning the AL East and not. You can't go out there and just put out punt lineups, and that goes to the top of the organization. But we gotta wait. We gotta wait and see what happens ultimately at the end of the day. It has yet to be seen how these players are going to play. There's a lot of question marks. Can Cam continue to be as good as he was last year? I think he can, but we have to see. What Garrett Cole are we getting back? We didn't have Garrett Cole at all last year. Could we be getting a healthy Giancarlo Stanton to start the season? We have to see. A lot of question marks, but ultimately we will figure it out in about a month and a half.
Thank you to everybody who participated in the poll that we put out there earlier. We had 45 voters, and the question was, should the Yankees give the young pitchers a chance to pitch in the MLB this season? 89% of you guys said absolutely yes, and 11% of you guys are just shitting on the young kids and say no. We got a new poll that's in the chat right now. What move should the Yankees make? Go ahead. What happened?
I messed up. I didn't read, and I clicked no instead of yes. So I'm
okay.
Part of the, I read too late. I was too excited about the poll. I was like, no.
Oh, okay, no problem. So we got a new poll that's in the chat. Make sure you guys are reading your answers before clicking. What moves should the Yankees make? We got a starting pitcher as an option, a right-handed bat, or like Ace said, a sexy move. So guys, make sure you guys vote in the chat. The more you guys engage with the poll, enter in the chat, drop a super chat, the more that YouTube would push this in the algorithm. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button and hitting that sub button. Brophy, the floor is yours, brother.
I want to piggyback off of what Ace said, where they don't need to make a ton of moves, and the moves that they've made are kind of enough in a way. Because if you look at, like Ace was just talking about base running, they got rid of Chapman. They put Dan Fiorito in at the first base coach position. He knows a lot of those guys on that team because he's coached a lot of those guys in the minors. They have really good rapport with him. Fiorito's been in the system, in with the organization for almost like 20 years, something like that. He's a known name within the organization. That's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to seeing in a couple weeks in spring training, how that base running changes, because like Ace said, those runners in scoring position, that was a huge sore spot in my opinion. And I want to see what we get out of Camilo Doval, because he had a couple problems with allowing too many silly runs that shouldn't have had to score. And they gave up a haul for Doval. And one of the guys that comes to mind is actually two of the guys, because we could have had Jesus Rodriguez talking about the catcher position. Jesus Rodriguez went to the Giants, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And Parks Harbor was one of the loud bats that went to the Giants as well. And I think he was like one of the fall stars or something like that in the fall league. So that was big stuff that they gave up. And to have that kind of performance that we saw to Doval last year, we need to have something better. And I don't think we need any more depth in the bullpen, maybe a little bit because they've lost some guys, but you'll see this stuff coming through spring training, once they see what they got for minor leaguers. And, are they going to call up LeGrand Hay? Or are they going to call up, like we were saying before, Rodriguez and all these other names that they have, because they haven't even announced who they're inviting yet to spring training. So we don't even know what we're going to see, and they still have a lot of depth that they have to fill on the AAA level, because that's been decimated from free agency and trades and all this other stuff. So they still have a little ways to go as far as kind of filling little spots, but we still have, what, 2 months and change until, just about 2 months, I think, right? March 25th is the opening day.
People get cut all the time in spring training and picked up by other teams.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember reading that the Park Harbor Doval trade with Jasson last year.
Yeah, Yankees are opening the season Wednesday, March 25th on the road in San Francisco.
So speaking of the Giants, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like that it looks like
my turn.
Years,
Yeah. It's John. I was saying, Jonathan. Hold on. It's throwing over to Jason real quick. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to piggyback up what Ace said too. And I've said this for months, and Jonathan will echo this too. Like, it's not always the big moves; it's the strategic moves, right? And I think the most strategic move they can make right now is getting Nico Horner if they can get him, because you could right in front of in the leadoff spot, which then you could put Cody Bellinger at second and Judge at third, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to give Cody Bellinger an awful lot of opportunity, because you're not going to want to pitch around him to put multiple guys on base for Judge. So that would help Bellinger and would help Aaron Judge. Plus, we'd have a leadoff hitter. Then you could put Rice at fourth, Stanton fifth, Jazz sixth. Now 1 through 6 looks completely different than it did before. Mm-hmm. Then you could put together a hell of a lot easier. So, and that's why I think that's one move if they can make, I would make it, right? And I don't know what it would cost, but he's the guy I would overpay for, right? And to your point too, bro, if you had boosting the bullpen, I think they're working on like different release points with Doval, which is good. I think they worked on another pitch with Jake Bird as well in soft season too. So I can't wait for these guys to get a full year with Matt Blake to go along with David Bednar and some of these other high velocity guys that they've kind of quietly brought in this offseason.
And when you look at Nico Horner and Cody Bellinger with the possibility of them batting 1-2 in front of Aaron Judge, they don't have they're not speed burners, right? They're not Brett Gardner, but Nico Horner, he did have 29 stolen bases last year, and Cody Bellinger, he did have 13 stolen bases last year for the New York Yankees. So They're not Ellie De La Cruz, but they can steal bases. And I know the Yankees don't like folks stealing bases in front of Aaron Judge, but if an opportunity presents itself, it's good knowing that you have two guys that can steal you a base if you need it. Sorry, Jason.
If I can just add to that, one of the big Yankees had on the right hand side last year was hitting lefties. Horner hits lefties at 370. He murders lefties. Okay, and then so that means Ryan McMahon at third base against lefties because he doesn't hit lefties well. So Horner would probably get 40 games at third base as well. So you could play Horner 120, 130 games because if Volpe comes back, my belief is he needs to win the job back no matter what. It cannot be. I don't care that he's Anthony Volpe. I don't care that they like him. I don't care. If Nico Horner's here, you got to beat him out for the job. If Cavaliero's here, you got to beat him out for the job, period. That's end of story, right? I like the player, but I like the team more. Whatever player is going to help the team win has got to be the guy that's going to be on the field, period.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm right there with you. And then you talk about hitting lefties. Horner hits well, and so does Belly. Belly for a lefty hits him very well as well. So that's that versatility that if you could, it's no coincidence that Aaron Judge, had a great year when you had a guy like Juan Soto who can get on base in front of him. Like they both had career years. You're going to need to, if you can't protect Judge from behind him, you got to protect him from the front side at least, like get guys on base. You can't pitch around him because Aaron Judge led the league in intentional walks last year. We saw it. Like they're so quick to do that. If you got a couple of guys to start the inning, next thing coming out the gate in the first inning, who Aaron Judge, one of the most prolific first inning home run hitters out there, it might be a 3-0 game before you even know it, before you blink.
Do you know who looks to stands to benefit a lot this year from the additional right-handed bat? Juan Soto. Because now you have Bo Bichette batting behind him, Lindor batting in front. The protection he has is crazy. Think about it. If we add Horner, the protection we give Aaron Judge.
Yep.
For that reason alone, I would be overpaid for that guy.
There's a video that I want to play. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead.
Would you give us Spencer Jones for Nico Horner?
They don't need him. They don't need outfielders. They need pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So I would leave with pitching. They've got Matt Shaw that they wanted to move into the outfield. They got Pete Crow Armstrong, so they were
PRC, PCR. Mm-hmm.
So thankfully, that for that reason alone too, I would give more pitching than bats.
Mm-hmm.
But and the Yankees, they do have a lot of MLB pitchers at the MLB level that you could trade away. Whether that's Will Warren, whether that's Luis Hill. Hey, you never know. Shout out to my guy Eldon Sicario, who is in the building. I had a little stutter, Ace, when you was talking because you brought up a name in Juan Soto, and I will be lying to you guys. And Brophy, I want to get you to take. We never talked about the Juan Soto situation with the Yankees. In 2024, well, always. I know we didn't win a championship. I know Juan Soto went to the New York Mets, and I know there's probably some Met fans that's probably hate watching right now. But 2024 will forever be one of my favorite Yankee seasons of all time. This is pretty cool. What happened, Jay?
Best number 2 and number 3 batter I've ever seen in my lifetime with the Yankees. Soto and Judge.
So I know he went to Queens. Go ahead, Brophy.
I was going to say real quick that spring training, you could say the vibes were immaculate. Like the way that the air was so excited to have Juan Soto on that team. It was unlike anything else. And then I came in last year and I'm like, somebody died. What the heck?
Mm-hmm,
it was so different.
That's exactly how it felt. Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. It literally felt like a funeral at Yankee spring training last year because, like you said, every spring training game, Yankee fans were showering that man in right field. Like right field was flooded in spring training. And then even when the Yankees was on the road in Dunedin, Yankee fans traveled to Dunedin and it was flooding the right field area over there because you can't go in the back, but you know what I mean. But yeah, 2024, I wish Juan Soto the best in Queens. And the only reason I bring that up is because he posted MLB Network put the stats up of Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, and he shared it on his story. So you know he misses wearing the pinstripes.
I mean, it's no coincidence. You're playing with the best player on the planet behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like 2024, look, we're far enough removed where I'm a Miami Heat fan, right? I'm a Miami Heat fan. I felt the same way when LeBron first left. I didn't want to see him win it that first year, but now that it's done, I really don't care. And I feel like that with Juan Soto. They didn't make the playoffs last year, but this year it's like, who cares? But Soto
Heck,
is
can
a
you hear
guy
me?
that benefited here. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Soto's-
I'm gonna mute you real quick.
I'm gonna wrap it. I gotta go cook dinner, man. So
Go ahead,
do
do
your
your
thing, man.
thing.
Appreciate you.
Listen,
coming on, Jay.
if you make some oodles and noodles for the girls, save me some. All right, it's my favorite. Just know
I got
that,
you
okay?
covered, man. I'll send out the bat signal.
All right, later, baby.
Great being on with you, man. Good luck, man. Y'all
Later. That's my guy, Mr. 161 Jason. Make sure you guys are giving him a follow. One of the dope Yankee creators that are out there. There are a lot of Yankee creators that are out there. Whether it's Fireside Yankees, whether it's the folks over there, Uncle Tats and the Pinstripe Chronicles, whether it's the folks over there, NYY Underground. There's a lot of different Yankee content creators that are out there. Derek from NYY Recap. I know I may be forgetting some folks. If I do, I apologize. El Don Sicario, make sure you guys are following him over there. They do a great job. I apologize. But yeah, let's keep the conversation going. Who wants to chime in next?
Jonathan's next.
Yeah, Jonathan's next. My fault. I forgot I had a brain fart.
Well, there's one thing I was noticing is I think this year this year and years past, they started to play games earlier than they used to 10 years ago, I believe. The season is starting earlier. So,
well, they're starting the games at 6 o'clock now. A lot of the games are starting at 6 o'clock instead of 7.
The season in March rather than maybe 4 or 5 days.
Oh, you're talking about the date of the? Okay, I see what you're saying.
Opening day is earlier than it used to be even when Derek Jeter was playing. And I think they're doing that because they don't want any November baseball.
Could be. Could just also be how the calendar falls, like
but I think they've been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years consistently.
But you also have to realize the first week of baseball, a lot of teams they play, day off, finish the series, day off. That's what's happening with the Yankees. We play on a Wednesday, off Thursday, finish Friday and Saturday. And I believe then we're off until a day. So you kind of got to get the players acclimated.
They try to make the travel days easier for the players, like especially when they're going over to the West Coast. I want to shout out my good friend Morgan, who is in the building. Morgan, I am doing good. Morgan, you gonna be down there spring training, Yankee spring training? Make sure you guys, Morgan, she's a dope Yankee content creator and talks about the Yankees on TikTok. Make sure you guys give her a follow. If you guys aren't on Yankees TikTok, I know some people don't like TikTok. I don't know. I like the dance app, but Yankees TikTok, a lot of dope content creators, a lot of great conversations over there. Make sure you guys download TikTok and have yourself a good time over there. Ace, before we wrap things up, we got less than 15 minutes. We got like 13 minutes. I'll toss it over to you. Last topic or last thing you want to touch on before we skedaddle.
Yeah, let's go back to the ABS because we kind of talked about that a little bit. I'm excited for the ABS system this year. What the rules will be, I guess we're kind of guessing that it's going to be the same as last year. I'm actually in the boat of, I think they should up the amount of challenges that you should do, that you can possibly have. I think you should get a certain amount of inning, because especially when you're going to get a guy like Elias Diaz behind the plate, you need as many challenges as you possibly can. This motherfucker sucks. Like, he's like the worst umpire in the league. So you might need every player to get a challenge. But, because like it's simple. Like, it's about time that baseball gets with the times, right? Where you challenge, go ahead, Jonathan.
So to the point, how many challenges, if you were in the room, how many challenges would you like to see? Not how many are they are now. What would you
I'd like to see 2 an inning. I like to see two an inning. Because here's the thing, it's not that long. It's as simple as this. 15 seconds later, you have the ability to know the outcome. And let's put it like this. It's not like players are going to abuse it, because sometimes the players are just going to accept it for what it is. Like, you get a call that's questionable, some player will just walk away from it. But you have 2 challenges per game, and you have to be very strategic, because do you want a guy like Austin Wells to use a challenge when then next inning we need a challenge from Aaron Judge, who leads the league in that low strike, and we don't have it? Like, it's another element to the game, but I think that they should up it because they're worried about it taking too much time. But it's like 10, 15 seconds. Just get it. I'd rather you get it right than get it than just breeze through it. Get it right.
Brophy, Oh, my fault, Jonathan. I want to get Brophy's take real quick, and I'll kick it over to you.
If they don't do that, I think there should be at least 5.
Or a system
Right,
if
bro.
you get it, or if you get it right, you earn another one, like the NFL does.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So-
Brophy. And there's a comment in the chat I'll bring up after you give your take. Go ahead.
So as far as the ABS goes, my experience with it in the Florida State League is there's been times where teams will run out by the second inning because you'll have a Las Diaz type of an umpire, and then you're just screwed the rest of the game because they're calling those low strikes or they're calling the inside pitches or whatever, and then you get both managers are screaming at the umpire, "What the hell were you looking at?" And then they're getting ejected, and then you just causing a whole ruckus that was unnecessary. I would like to see. I don't know if I would see per inning, but I would like to see the capacity up as a per game, maybe 5, 6, something like that. If it's a Las Diaz kind of an umpire, maybe they can after so many successful challenges that have been upheld, or I guess overturned, they go to full ABS. I think that would be another option that they can go to because. At that point, you're just saying, hey, look, the umpire sucks. We need to go to full ABS because this guy doesn't know what the hell he's looking at.
Yeah. Because it's crazy because like I said, I call the games and you see like throughout all of baseball, it's not just Yankees, and it happens on both sides whether the Yankees are playing them or not. The umpire strike zone changes towards the end of the game a lot. What was a strike in the first 7 innings, all of a sudden they get a little tired back there. They're not, fatigue kicks in. They're not paying attention, and then all of a sudden something's called differently, and it could change the game. So I'm all for either giving multiple an inning because I don't think players will abuse it, or you give it a certain amount, and if you continue to win, you earn more. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I because I've seen it in the minor league games that I've attended, and 15 seconds, I think you're giving a little bit extra. It literally takes within 10 seconds, if that, no more than 15 seconds, and it's so fast. And I know MLB maybe is trying to do baby steps with it instead of going full ABS. Like, all right, well, you're gonna get 2 challenges an inning. I think they're doing this like this because you're going to get that small faction of Yankee fans, or just not Yankee fans, of just MLB baseball fans. That's the old angry fan that screams from the porch whenever there's a new rule change that MLB is implementing. They're bitching and complaining about having to watch Amazon and Netflix. Yeah, like the pitch clock. Like I personally, I enjoy the pitch clock. It makes the game go by so much faster. Yeah. And then sometimes you notice it's probably like 20 or 30 minutes.
It's the same action, just more compact.
Yeah,
I'm okay with the pitch clock.
Like the pitch clock to be about 25 seconds, be a little bit longer.
I'm okay with the pitch clock.
25 seconds. You talk about in general or with runners on, because there's a difference.
There's 18 and 20.
I would say 20 seconds with runners off, 25 seconds with runners on.
Okay, so you just want to add a little bit more extra time. I personally don't think it's a problem. And a lot of people, they try to correlate the injuries that pitchers were having to the pitch clock, and I don't think it's just pitchers are throwing a lot harder than what they were back in the day. Yeah. They're starting a lot younger as well. Like I'm watching videos, and bro, for your FYP is probably the same as mine's. You see young 13-year-old kids that are throwing 100 miles per hour or 90 miles per hour. Like that shouldn't be happening. 13-year-old kids shouldn't be. A regular human adult body is not meant. Your arm is not meant to do that. Let alone being a 12, 13-year-old throwing 90 plus. Come on, that's irresponsible.
Even Antonio Gomez, who they recently converted from catcher to pitcher, told me a couple of years ago he was throwing 95 when he was 16. He was originally a pitcher, and then they converted him to a catcher, and then back to a pitcher again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what they look like. That's what they look at, the spin rate, that type of stuff. And also, I'll throw in another thing: these kids out there wanting to throw curveballs early, that takes a toll on that. All that torque takes a toll on you. Like I said, I still think fastball change is the best combination in baseball. If you're going to teach your kids how to play at a young age, teach them that. But these kids want to throw sliders. These kids want to throw curveballs. It takes a toll.
You got to teach them fastball, changeup, north, south, east to west. they could learn all that extra shit, that extra sexy stuff when they get to the minors. But there was a comment that was in the chat. First of all, shout out to Bronx Boy 22 in the building. How about Logan O'Hoppe as a Yankees catcher? Offensively, I would love it. I don't think I know the Angels are a horribly run franchise. I don't think they're that stupid. But Jacob Petruzzi in the chat said, question for Senor Brophy. The guys were losing, I guess, in the international market. Is it because of money or because we didn't have an international director of scouting until today? What was it?
So from what I understand, it's because the negotiations that they had under Rowland had fallen apart. Something didn't follow through. And then now that they have Mario Garza, he has a lot of established contacts in the Dominican because he was he was previously the director of Dominican operations. So he has those established contacts. He's been down there for the past couple of weeks. I wrote up an article earlier for Yankee Savant about that. But yeah, I think going forward, having those established contacts, getting everything back on track, I think we'll start seeing. I think with Mario Garza's baseball talent, like what he sees and as far as scouting goes, I think we're going to see higher quality product coming out of the international stuff. That's actually what I wanted to mention for my my closing bit. So thank you, Jacob.
Well, I received a message about that earlier, and I was wondering about who the Yankees can bring, who can the Yankees sign with all the excess spending that they have. They have so much money that they wanted to use for the guys that the Mets signed. Who can they bring in now? Who can they sign with that money?
I mean, I don't know the different guys that are out there. That would be more of a discussion for my guy Yankees Farm over on Twitter and Instagram. Carlos,
shout out to Los.
I mean, they know who they want, right? So they had Wandy Essigan went to the Mets. There was another guy that went to the Mariners that they lost. Those were the two big names, and then they just kind of had to pivot and go with whoever else that they could kind of get their hands on that they had their negotiations with. But I'm sure that they got guys that they have an eye on. They still have that window because it's still open for another, I think it's like 9-10 months, something like that.
December 15th.
Now there was something that it popped up on the feed over the past few days and stuff. And honestly, I didn't even send it in the group chat with Grace Ace. But there's a 13-year-old kid that the Yankees have a verbal commitment with out of Venezuela. 13-year-olds. Again,
yeah, but that's always the case.
I'm too broke to think about this, but but that's the thing. I know that's always the case, but a lot of people are making a big thing about this because it's the New York Yankees and the 13-year-old that's attached to the storyline. What's your take on it, Brophy? Go ahead and then toss it over to Ace and Jonathan.
This is another thing that I wrote about not that long ago. I mean, you get everybody from Jasson Domínguez. We were talking about him as a 14-year-old. Rodrigo Arias, they were talking about him as a 14-year-old. It's every single international guy that they have signed that's been significant. Agustin Ramirez. We were talking about Narvaez earlier. Every single one of them, they all had handshake deals with their academy, and you know that's just how all that stuff works. It's kind of shady, and you know you see them walking around with a Yankee hat or Royals hat or Mets hat or whatever, and that's who the handshake deal is with.
Yeah, it happened with Gary Sanchez when Gary Sanchez was coming up as a young kid out of the Dominican Republic. It happened to Miguel Sano as well. There's an amazing documentary that's about it. Just Google, I forgot the name of it. Just Google Miguel Sano, Gary Sanchez documentary, and there's a dope documentary that dives into it. Miguel Sano was supposed to go to the Pittsburgh Pirates, but there was some illegal stuff behind the scenes. Somebody actually went to jail behind it. So yeah, if you guys want to watch that, it dives into it. It's a good watch. Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah. First and foremost, always happy for the players. You know, it's always good to get a bag. You know, that generation, to start the generational wealth, which is great. Especially from these other countries. Is it going to help Aaron Judge win a championship?
No.
Aaron Judge going to be retired long before this kid even sniffs
exactly.
So it does nothing for me at the end of the day. We heard like Brophy had said, we heard about Jasson Domínguez, you know, for the longest time. They were comparing him next Mickey Mantle, that type of stuff. And yet when he comes up, the Yankees don't even want to give him a shot. So we'll see.
Exactly. And when it comes to that young kid, not to he's 13 right now. It's 2026. By the time Aaron Judge was 25 when he made it, by the time he is Aaron Judge's age during his rookie year, when he's 25, that'll be the end of Juan Soto's contract. I just did the math in my head. So that's a long time. That's a long time from now. So it's a very long time.
So what I'm hearing is Heck says he's the next Juan Soto.
There it is. I said it here first. But guys,
by the time he gets up, you might see $1 billion deal.
Oh yeah. By the time in a decade, you'll see $1 billion deal. Well, I don't know. You got to think of how many generations. Well, I'm gonna walk that back because you're not gonna have a lot of generational like Juan Soto's coming down the pipeline. Who?
There's a high school kid in Japan right now. Yeah. There's a high school kid in Japan right now that's supposed to be better than Shohei Ohtani. He just hit a home run the other day. I forgot his name. So hey,
I mean, they got some good Japanese prospects over there. That's why I'm excited.
$1 billion deal is coming. It might not be in the next 10 years, but it's coming.
Again, I will fall back to I am too broke to argue that conversation.
Just real quick, I did want to interject that a Yankee scout told me 2 years ago that the Pacific Rim is supposed to be the latest hotbed of talent, and that's Taiwan, Japan. I don't know China so much. I know the Pirates are drafting a lot out of China, and Taiwan, but it's that and Nicaragua and Central America is supposed to be the two hot spots. So something to watch for.
To that point, why did the Yankees not even go after a guy like MI?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's lots of varying factors in that.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, like Brophy said, there's a lot of varying factors when it comes to that. I would have loved Imai with the Yankees.
Yeah,
he got arrested in high school for smoking weed in his high school baseball jersey. So he's shout out to him. Yeah, he fits in New York.
Maybe we'll get him next year after he opts out after Houston.
I'm just curious why he signed for less than $30 million and the Yankees did not even make him an offer.
But that's kind of like saying, why didn't Juan Soto sign with the Yankees? Yeah. Because you can look at how much he was romanticizing being in the outfield with Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
if he really wanted to sign with the Yankees, he would have signed with the Yankees.
But they didn't make him an offer.
Japanese pitchers scare me though, because like they're not used to pitching on 5 days rest over here, and then we've seen a lot of guys first couple of years deal with some injuries, so they kind of scare me.
That baseball's smaller too, I think.
Say it again.
They're different size.
That deal was a 3-year deal with opt-outs every year. So you're not losing anything with that type of deal. You're just basically committing to 1 year.
I think we
don't know that's. Yeah. Go ahead, Heck.
I was gonna say we don't know how teams evaluated him. This is a kind of like an unknown commodity coming from Japan to a certain degree. You don't know. It's a different baseball. We've seen pitchers come over from Japan and they not be the same thing that they were over there. We've seen pitchers come over here and they dominate like Tanaka. So it's just everyone's different. Roki Kuroda was great with the New York. I loved him when he was here with the New York Yankees. We just don't know how the Yankees evaluated him, and I don't think we'll ever get that answer, Jonathan. And that's something that every Yankee fan is going to be asking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the contract that he signed for. Go ahead, Ace. My fault.
No, I am excited to see Sato play though in a World Baseball Classic. He's supposed to be the next big name prospect that's supposed to be coming over here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I look forward to the World Baseball Classic. Before we get out of here, Brophy, Senor Brophy, just let the people know again where they can find you, where all your articles are, the people you work with, and all of that jazz. Go ahead, bro.
So all my social handles are JBrophyBaseball. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok if TikTok wants to work. You can find my content at Yankee Savant. I just had an article, like I said earlier, go up about Mario Garza. I have some articles on the minor league stuff, on Rule 5, lots of other stuff you can read about. And I work with Con las Bases Llenas. I'm their photographer. I work with NYY Underground. And again, I'm a co-founder of Yankee Savant, so you can find a lot of our content there. YankeeSavant.com.
Brophy, appreciate you, brother. You have a good one. I will see you. And whenever you're free and want to come up for the open panel, you're more than welcome to anytime, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Nice to
me.
meet you, bro.
And then Jonathan, my guy, you know I love you. You know, I don't think you need an introduction or an outroduction, but last thing before you get out of here, bro.
Well, we're a month away from spring training. I'm excited to see what the Yankees are going to do, how they're going to improve from last year, and I'm just getting ready for opening day.
Copy. Well, appreciate you. You know, you're more than welcome to come up here anytime for this open panel, Jonathan.
How often are you going to do the open panel?
We're gonna do this now, right now during the off season, at least once a week. We'll have it back next week, Tuesday as well. If we move it to Wednesday or Monday, we'll let you know. But we'll have it once a week.
Not in the.
It'll be at this absolutely. It'll probably start at 4:30, Jonathan.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good one. Yep. Next time, I want to see a different apartment. You got to switch it up. It's 2026, bro. I need a different backdrop. Right now. No, not right now. Not right now. Don't tease us. All right, tease us for the next show. All right.
Okay.
All right. Later, Jonathan.
Appreciate you, man. And then, of course, next we'll be back on Thursday with the lovely Grace Monroe. So can't wait for that. This was a great show. Heck, great open panel. Appreciate you. Also, make sure you guys leave a couple questions after the live is over for the mailbag for next for actually this Thursday or next week.
I would say for next week. Matter of fact, no, for this Thursday. For this Thursday.
Okay, so ask us a topic that you want, and you know, a little get to know you. Ask us a personal question as long as it's not too personal, and we'll go ahead and pick one and answer it with you guys and Grace.
Yeah, and the last poll that we put in the chat, and thank you guys so much for interacting with these polls. All the interaction that you guys do with the polls, it helps us out when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, getting more people in the chat. So if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But the question was, what move should the Yankees make? We got 53% of you guys said a right-handed bat, 28% said a starting pitcher, and 19% of you guys, get your head out the gutter, said a sexy move. They want the Yankees to make a sexy move going into spring training. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys for all the interactions in the chat, all of the super chats as well. Let me just read off some of them right now. My guy NYCC Money said with the $1.99 super chat. My guy CK Chris Califf with a $2 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Slim Lewis Guitar with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. New York Rican 2191 with a $5 super chat. Ace, you got the sound?
Do I got the sound? Do I got this sound?
I'm just saying. Shout out to my guy NYY with that one as well. And shout out to everybody who was in the building. Tim English, thank you so much. Jesse is in the building. Thank you so much. My guy Jacob Petruzzi. John the Beagle Dad was in the building. Theo Nosebleed section as well. He was here earlier. Stevie O is in the building. My guy Cruise Control is in the building. How are you doing? Shout out to my guy E from the Pinstripe Bugle. He said, at dinner right now, watching myself back to see how I did. My bad. I had an external mic, but it picked up my phone. No, you was totally fine. There was no issue with your audio. El Don Sicario said, I wish they would add being able to duke it out the same way. Oh, you're talking about the baseball game for MLB The Show. El Don Sicario. Shout out to the one bot viewer on Twitch. So shout out to you. I appreciate you as well. Ace, my brother, I see you this Thursday. And until next time, I'm Hector.
Yours truly, the Ace.
And this is the Yankees afternoon brew.
Afternoon brew.
We got to figure out a name for this.
You have a little coffee. You have a little coffee in the morning. What are you drinking in the afternoon?
I drink water. I drink a lot of water. That's really I literally just crushed. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. I literally crushed 3 bottles of water while we was on the live stream, and I need another bottle of water. Oh, hold on, wait. Somebody puts it in the chat. Besides sports, what is some of your special interests? Hector Cruz said, hold on. Hector Cruz said reading. I think he said, hold on. I had some answers here. Oh, I forgot them. But people said,
I think that was directed to us.
Castillo said reading. What special interests? Ace.
Movies and music. That's what my channel is about. Well, on the movie side at least, but music has always been my first love. So those are my 2 things outside of sports.
Outside of sports, I would have to say movies animes. Like, look at this. My girlfriend got me this for
Collectibles.
Christmas. Collectibles, you know, Power Ranger. I really say, like, in 2026, I'm going all out for Power Rangers. Judge me all you want, Ace. All right, I don't care, but I'm going all out for Power Ranger.
I love Power Rangers. 2017 is one of the best Power Ranger movies ever, man. One of the best
It's low
movies
key
that never got a
slept
sequel.
on. Oh my god,
Yeah.
they had like a whole universe set up. There was a whole interview that just came out. I'm in my feelings.
RJ.
Yeah,
that shit
I'm in
made
my
me
feelings.
so mad.
I'm in my feelings. They had everything set up.
They had 6 movies planned.
I think the one thing, if you could take away from that movie, and it would have been good, it was the Krispy Kreme. Just take Krispy Kreme out of that movie, and it's a good fucking movie. I don't care what anybody says.
That was great product placement, though. That was hilarious product placement, though.
It was, but appreciate all of you guys. Ian Hawaiian says, "What's for dinner tonight?"
I gotta go see what my girl's doing. I gotta go. You gotta ask the missus what she wants. You know, it's not up to me. It's up to them. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, until next time, we'll see you on this week Thursday, Yanks Morning Brew with the lovely Grace Monroe, and it's like a Dragon Ball Z. On the next time, you'll find out what Ace ate when we're back this Thursday. And until next time, peace. Arriba the dirt sheet. Drink some water. Say something nice about yourself. And like my guy Keith McPherson says, we out.